Hey guys, good evening. Guys, if you're able to see my screen, just type S in the chat box so that we can get started with today's session. You guys able to see my screen? Just type S in the chat box. Yeah, thanks for the confirmation. Great. So guys, I'm planning to wind up this software testing this weekend. Okay. So we may have to spend some extra time because in the last weekend, right, I was not well. So I got recovered. Now I'm feeling better and good. So with that note, right, today is 12th and tomorrow is 13th. We'll focus a lot and try to finish up the manual testing part of the software testing. Okay. So manual part of software testing we would like to wind up today. Okay. Wind up this weekend. And next weekend, we would like to start with API testing, the manual part again. Okay, manual part of API testing using Postman will start in the next weekend. But this weekend, I will try to wrap up. So since you already got an idea what exactly software testing is, so guys, what do you say? Have you got some idea what software testing is from the previous sessions or earlier sessions? A feel of software testing did you get? Because this weekend we are going to wrap up. At least you got an idea what exactly software testing is, what a software tester does in real time while working on the project, what are scenarios, what are test cases, what is a bug, how to report a bug. You may have got some idea, right? But a lot of other things are there, I know, which I'm going to finalize, okay, complete in this weekend. So let's begin today's session with that note. Fine, great. So what I want to do here is I'll directly would like to jump to the notes and say what exactly is covered. I'll summarize also at same time. I'm going to summarize. If any people who have joined this training in between, right? Today's session is going to be, kind of, some revision kind of stuff will be there in today's session because of which you'll get all the idea. Okay. First thing is what is software testing? You already know. I explained what is software testing, right? So software testing will be generally performed by the software tester to check whether there are any problems in the software given for testing. Okay, while testing the software, we are going to identify the problems in the software. We call these particular problems as defects. So as part of software testing, a software tester need to identify or find the bugs in the software so that we can report them to the developers and get them fixed. Ultimately, what will happen during this process of finding the defects and getting them fixed by the developers and all, the quality of the software will rise. That's what exactly what is software testing is all about. Now, second session where I explained was about why software testing is required. Okay, in second session, what I covered, guys, why software testing is required. If you don't perform software testing, okay, we'll end up in a lot of problems. That is, the company who has built this software will lose its reputation. Okay, if a buggy software having a lot of problems is released into the market, the users will not find it useful and will not use it, and because of which the reputation of the company will go down. Not only that, the sales will automatically go down. Because of the sales going down, the revenue will go down, will go into the go down. The company will go into the losses. The company will go into the losses. Not only that, guys. Okay, in some situations, because of the problems in the software, that may lead to the that may lead to the people customers filing some cases. Okay, filing some cases where company again have to go with additional losses. Okay, then next thing is, it also may cause a lot of problems, like even may cause a death. Okay, so those are the lot of problems that software testing why software testing is required. So the quality is very important, guys. Okay, without software testing performed on the software before the software get released into the market. Okay, if you directly release the software into the market without performing testing or without identifying the defects and getting them rectified with the developers, what happens? The quality won't be good, and because of which all these problems will come. So it's better that software testing need to be performed. Then I have in one of the session, I showed you the demo application that we are going to use for practice in the software testing, and I have also made you guys understand it. I explored it before you. I explored that particular application before you. The application is none other than this tutorialsninja.com/demo application. I explored this application before you and explained the entire application for you in the previous sessions. Okay, if you have not attended the sessions, go through my previous recordings that are there in this. Okay, and then complete them. Okay, fine. So how to explore this application? What is the way to explore, and what are the different areas as an expert I can explore? I showed you so that you'll get a feel of this application. And this application is in a e-commerce application, as most of the people in the market are aware of. How to. Buy the products from Amazon, Flipkart, etc. Right? So exploring this application by yourself is going to be very easy. With that note, I covered that application as a sample application. Assume that the client has given this particular application for testing. Okay, there is one case study that we are following where assuming that the client has developed this particular application, the client has built this particular application by their own in-house developers, and they want our testing services. They came to our company where we are working, and we as a service providing company has our resources. Let's say some software testers are there, junior and senior and all leads and all those people are there. Some team has been assigned by the company, and the team is working on testing this particular thing. This is what is a case study one we are working where, and this application we are going to use for software testing. Okay, then I told you one more thing in the previous sessions, that domain knowledge is very important. Okay, for software testers, domain knowledge is very important, guys. It plays a key role. So without you understanding the terminologies of this particular domain, here in this case, this application is a e-commerce domain. Lot of terminologies exist for this e-commerce domain, like, uh, buy. Buy is also one terminology in the e-commerce, right? We buy the products. There are some product pages. There are some product pages, like if you go to one of the product page, this page is called as a product display page. Apart from that, there is something like known as wish list. There's something known as shopping cart. There's something known as checkout, right? Many things are there, many things, many terminologies we need to understand as part of e-commerce applications. Okay, and domain knowledge wise, I covered a lot of domain knowledge, guys. For example, if you take a banking application, a lot of domain knowledge is required for testing the banking applications. Like, you need to know about a lot of things about the bank, that is private banks, public banks, savings account, current account, checkbook. Like that, many terminologies are required for you to know. Okay, EMI and many other stuff. Okay, many depositing, transferring, crediting, withdrawing. A lot of terminologies will be there. All the, without having this knowledge of the terminology, you cannot understand a banking application, right? Similarly, for this e-commerce application also, there are some terminologies that you need to understand so that you can explore this application and understand the application well. So domain knowledge plays a key role for practicing software testing. I covered that, okay, also in the previous sessions. Then this is something that we need to cover. I'm going to cover now. Okay, this is something I'm going to cover now, guys. That is session 5, which I have not covered. Okay, as part of the previous sessions, I have not covered. I hope the one who has joined in between also have understood what exactly is software testing so far here with this. But I explained at a high level, guys. But if you want a deep explanation of mine for this particular topics, go and watch the previous recordings. Then you'll be good. Okay, fine. Then basic testing types for understanding the software testing better. Okay, everyone type in the chat box basic software testing. Sorry, basic testing types. Everyone type in the chat box basic testing types so that I'll start explaining about the basic testing types for you. As a software tester, a lot of testing types will be there. In that, the basic testing types that everyone should be aware of, I'm going to teach you right now. I want everyone to type in the chat box basic testing types so that I can explain them. I can start explaining them for you. Okay. I'll also put in the WhatsApp group. Okay. Basic testing types. Okay. Basic testing types. Topic is going on. Yeah, fine. Basic testing types. Yeah. I'll open this notes so that you'll understand what are the different basic types, testing types we have. Okay, so I'll explain all the things. Don't worry. Okay, a lot of things will come into place. These are basics only. I'm not explaining advanced types. Okay, a lot of advanced types are also there, but whatever I'm covering are the basic testing types here. The first type of basic testing types are what? What is the first category? I can explain the software testing using different testing types. So I would like to categorize. Okay, one way of explaining about different testing types is one is manual testing, another one is automation testing. Everyone type in the chat box manual and automation. Manual testing and automation testing is one of the basic testing types you need to learn. Okay, this is one way of categorizing the testing types. Okay, you see, if you apply for software testing jobs in the market, if you apply for any software testing jobs, what will happen, guys? Some people who are not good with automation will apply for manual testing jobs, functional testing or manual functional testing jobs. Other people who are good with automation tools like Selenium automation, etc., what they will do, they'll apply for automation role, test automation engineer role, where you also have to do manual testing. Along with that, you have to do automation testing because software testing as a role should nowadays, guys. Nowadays, everyone in the market need to do both manual and automation, guys. Don't think that I'll be doing only manual. Don't think that I'll be doing only automation. Gone are the days. Okay, the industry is in a different level right now, and we are in the AI age, artificial intelligence age. Don't just stick to manual testing, guys. Manual automation, everything is required. Okay, we have to go to a certain level where everything need to be understood. So, yeah, for now, let's understand what is manual testing and what is automation testing at a high level. Okay, I'll explain more, guys. More testing types are there. They'll come up during the upcoming sessions. Okay, for now, we are here. Okay, manual testing and automation testing. What are they? It's still in the basic level only, okay? It feels like there's a final sessions by this weekend, but still we are at the basic level only. Don't think that I have missed a lot of sessions in the previous recordings. Though I explained some things, important things in the previous sessions. You can watch them later. So this side I'm writing manual testing, guys. And this side I'm writing automation testing. Automation testing. Manual testing and automation testing. This side I'm writing manual testing. This side I'm writing automation testing. Okay. This side I'm writing manual testing and this side I'm writing the automation testing. What is the difference? If you consider about the manual testing, guys, if you consider about the manual testing, let's say there is a computer machine, any digital device, it can be a laptop, it can be an iPad, it can be your mobile phone, whatever the way you are testing the application. Let's say some device or some machine or laptop, etc. Whatever you say. Okay, assume that this is a thing. Now we are here. Okay, we are here, guys. Okay. There's a person, a real person who know how to perform the testing of the application setting way before that computer machine or a digital device or like a mobile phone or smartphone or an iPad, etc. Doesn't matter, okay? Where the application is already is can be accessed in this particular machine. Let's assume now this person by using his or her eyes and then the hands by just directly sitting before the computer machine, like me sitting before the laptop while explaining or while training you, while giving the training, what I'm doing is I'm just sitting before my laptop, right? While providing the training to you, I'm just sitting before my laptop and then providing the training, right? Similarly, while performing the software testing, a real person, it's not a robot or something. It's not neither a robot or automation tool. A real person, okay, him or her is sitting directly before the laptop. Assume that it's a laptop. Assume that this is a laptop and this is a real person. By using the eyes of the person, this particular person can see what is going on the computer machine screen. And by using the hands, the person will take the actions. Okay. So this person directly sitting before the computer machine and then performing the testing, this kind of testing is called as manual testing without taking any automation tools help. Okay. Here I'll write person, we generally call them that person as a software tester. Let's in real time it's this person is not a normal person, it's not a normal user, rather as a software tester kind of person, kind of role containing person sitting directly before the computer machine and then performing testing manually without using any test automation tools. Okay, without using any test automation tools, without using any tools like automation tools, this particular person is directly sitting before the computer machine and by using the eyes and hands is performing the testing manually. Okay, and that kind of testing is called as what type of testing, guys? What type of testing this is called as? A person directly before sitting before the computer machine and performing the testing, this testing is called as what? Manual testing. Okay, for the people who are new to software testing, you need to understand the difference between manual and automation testing, guys. Okay, I'll give a demo for automation testing, don't worry. But here we are at the manual testing part. Okay, we are at the manual testing part where the person is directly sitting before the computer machine and then performing the testing. And this kind of testing is called as manual testing. Shall I give a small demo of the manual testing? I'm going to give a small demo. Okay, demo I'm going to give. For example, here, let's say I opened one browser. Let's say this is a browser. Okay, this is a Chrome browser. I opened the browser, and in this browser, uh, I opened this browser manually, guys. Okay, so let me close this entire browser and just click on this browser manually. The browser will launch. The browser will open. Okay, the browser will open, and by the time I'm opening the browser, you may be thinking that you're not getting this kind of thing, right? This is something like called as testing daily, guys. Okay, this page is coming because I've installed this extension. Okay, I've installed this extension, guys. You see, this is a testing daily extension. Okay, let's say I can I manage extension and disable this for a while and click on the new tab. You see what is happening when I click on the new tab without that extension? I wanted to explain about the extension also, guys. Okay, I want to explain about this particular extension also. So because it will be useful for you as a software tester. Now, without that extension, if I open the Chrome browser, what is happening, guys? A blank window is coming, yes or no? A blank browser window is coming, yes or no? Where address is not there and all. Now, if you want to get this, I'm just deviating deviating from the manual testing topic a bit. Okay, don't worry about that. You see, whenever I'm opening a new tab in the browser right here, okay, manage extensions, and here I have installed one extension, guys. You can install this extension. I can remove it for a while and I can install it later also. I can remove it. Okay, I'll just remove it and I'll uninstall it later. Okay, so there is a tool known as a selectors hub. Okay, you can go to the selectors hub website page. Go to selectors hub, guys. There are a lot of tools that a software tester can use for making his testing work a bit easier and sophisticated. Okay, so in that, one of the tool that I was using is testing daily, guys, because I'm a software tester. I'm very passionate about software testing, right? Whenever I open a browser, right, I want to see a lot of information about software testing, what is going on with software testing and all, like a newspaper. Okay, all the news or updates about software testing I want. So in that case, guys, for getting the testing trends and articles written by different people on the market, in the market, and videos created by different people in the market, software testing experts, right? I can install this extension so that whenever I open a new tab, instead of getting this kind of page, you will get this selector sub testing daily extension page. For now, I have disabled it, guys. You already have seen how it looks like. For now, I have disabled it. Let's get back to manual testing, understanding manual testing, where I was explaining that if you sit before the computer machine directly and then performing the testing by yourself without using any test automation tool, that testing is called as manual testing. Okay. So for that, I'm going to give a small demo where I'm clicking on the browser. The browser is opening up. This is the Chrome browser, guys. In this Chrome browser, the next thing that I have to do is I have to manually type the application page URL, tutorials, the website application page I need to open, guys. For example, in my case, the application that I'm testing is a web application. So this is the application URL. I type this application page URL. When I press enter, guys, you see the application has come. Now, I want to test one of the functionality of this application, guys. I want to test one of the functionality of this application. For example, I want to test the search box field. Search functionality of the application, I want to test. I'm doing it manually, guys, okay? To type some text into the search box field, I'm just taking my mouse using my right hand, okay? I'm taking my mouse cursor and clicking inside this search box field. Now I'm using the keyboard keys. I'm putting my hands on the keyboard key and typing one name like HP. I typed HP using my keyboard keys. And again, I'm taking the mouse and, manually I'm clicking on the search button. And I can visually see with my eyes, I'm able to visually see that a search page came, and in the search results page, whatever the product I search for is coming here, HPLP 3065. I got a proper search results. By visual confirmation, I'm confirming that this particular test got passed. Okay, I'm just searching for an existing product in this application and I got the search results accordingly. The test got passed or failed, guys. Tell me, guys, is the test got passed or failed? With the knowledge that I have already given you from the previous sessions, to tell me manually whatever the test I perform on the search box field is passed or failed. Is it passed or failed? This particular test that I have just now shown you, like typing HP in the search box, click on the search button and checking whether the relevant product came in the search result, that is got passed, right? With the knowledge that I have already gave you in the previous sessions, you should be able to identify that this particular test got passed. So did I use any automation tools for testing this? Guys, did I use any automation tools for testing this? Or did I do it manually? I did it manually, right? I checked this particular functionality of the one particular part of the functionality of the application in a manual way. This is manual testing. Understood, guys? Everyone understood what is manual testing? Just type S in the chat box if you are understanding. If you understand, just type S in the chat box, guys. So that I'll go to the next topic, that is automation testing. Okay, automation testing, I'm going to give a small demo for you. Okay, automation testing. Okay, after explaining what is automation testing, I'm going to give a small demo for you. In manual testing, you don't use any automation tools. You by yourself are performing the testing. But what happens in automation testing? What happens in automation testing is, in automation testing, what happens? Okay, here again, the same computer machine will be there. And before this computer machine, a real person won't be there here. There will not be any person. On behalf of the person, on behalf of a real person sitting before the computer machine and performing the testing, here on behalf of the real person, what is there here? Test automation tool is there. What is there? Who is performing the testing in this case? In case of automation testing, who is performing the testing? A real person. Here, a real person is performing. A real person with the software testing role is performing the testing by sitting before the computer machine directly. What about here, guys? Who is performing the testing here of the application? On behalf of the software tester, a test automation tool is performing the testing. A test automation tool is performing the testing on behalf of the real person, and that kind of testing is called as automation testing in simple words. Okay. If a test automation tool is performing testing on behalf of a real person, okay, it is called as or known as automation testing. What is an automation testing? In automation testing, an automation tool will perform the testing on the application instead of the real person doing it manually. Okay, that is simply called as automation testing. Let me give you a small demo, guys. I have everything in place. Let me give a small demo. Okay, let me give a small demo. Just don't worry what is happening, because I didn't cover what is Eclipse IDE for you and what is automation tool for you and all. I didn't cover anything for you. Okay, I didn't cover so far. I didn't cover anything for you, but I want to give a small demo of the automation. So watch it like a movie, guys. Don't act like a director here. Okay, you're watching a movie like an audience. Don't think that why I can't do this. If you think that what is this Eclipse ID, why I need to launch, how I need to launch, I need to create a workspace, launch it, create a project. If you think like that, you're a director. Okay. At this point of time, you're not a director, guys. Okay. You're in the beginning stages of software testing where you don't know anything. I am an expert software tester. I know all this stuff. Okay. I want you guys to feel yourself as an audience, thinking that I will not do all this stuff. I'll just watch it like a movie. Okay. I don't worry about how to launch the Eclipse IDE, how to install Eclipse IDE, why I'm launching this, why there is a project here. I'll not worry about anything, guys. Okay. I'll not worry about anything, guys. Okay. There is something already in place. Okay. That I have created. Okay. So there is something, you see, there is an editor kind of stuff here, and there is software kind of stuff like Eclipse IDE editor is there in that one project is there. Don't worry, just try to understand only. Okay. Just like watching a movie, just go through this, what I'm explaining. Okay. That's enough. I'm going to one of the file. Why I'm going to this file doesn't matter for you. I'll just go there and I'll remove all this stuff and keep only one item here. There is a reason why I'm doing this. Okay. Fine. So now, guys, you see, as a automation engineer, I have written a lot of code. I'll show you. This is a code I already have written, guys. Just give me a second. I'll show you the code that I have already written. You see, login test. Can you see the code, guys? Can you see the code? At the rate test priority one. At the rate test priority. This is one test case. Okay, where code is available here. Okay, this is another test case where some code is written already here. Third test case, fourth test case, fifth test case, sixth test case. Like that, how many test cases are there here? For login test cases in our Excel sheet that we have used, whatever the test cases are there here, every test case got automated here. I have written the code. In the upcoming sessions, I'm going to show you how to automate this. Okay. In the upcoming sessions, I'm going to show you how to automate this. These were done as part of the live automation sessions, guys. Okay. In live automation sessions, there is other batch that I'm running, right? What I'm doing there is, I'm automating 500 plus test cases there in that batch. Okay. It's an ongoing batch. So anyone can join at any point of time. That's okay in that batch. So because of that, I have this particular project ready with me. Okay. So if I go to the logout test, again, logout related test cases are available here. Okay. Maybe you're not able to understand what is going on here. Some code is there. Okay. As an audience, you can clearly see that there is some code written by the software tester. Software tester has written some code here. Okay. In this one editor like Eclipse IDE editor, one project got created. In that project, some files are there. In that file, some code is available. That's what your understanding should be. Don't worry how to write this code, how to launch this editor, how to install this editor, how to create this project, how to create these files, and in that files, how to write the code. Don't worry about this right now. Just watch it like an audience. Okay. In the restart test, Register test functionality, you know, right? In this application, there is a register test functionality. For testing this application using several test cases, I have automated several test cases. As part of this, you see how many lot of test cases have been automated. I'll go to the end to see. 27 test cases have been automated. In such test, if you go to such test, you see in such test or such functionality also there are like around 22 test cases in the such functionality. Like this, many test cases have been already automated, guys. Okay, so I don't want to run all the tests because it will take a lot of while. It will waste our time. Okay, it will waste. I can run all these tests here. Okay, but that will waste our time. So what I'm doing is I'll just went to this configuration file in this project. What is this configuration file? What is this test engine? Don't worry about that. That will be explained during the automation series. Okay, Selenium Java automation series that I'm going to cover in the upcoming sessions. Right, I'm going to cover all this stuff. Since the project is already readily available for me, I'm giving a small demo of what you are going to work on in the coming days. Okay, you are going to get to this level where you're going to create this project, create these files, create these configurations and all those stuff. Here I only mentioned to run such test to run it. Even though multiple functionalities are there, I'm just mentioning the such test only. All the test case in the such test only should run. I'm just mentioning. Okay. Now I'm going to run the test. As software tester, by using this automation tool, I want the automation tool to perform testing. So I'm just right clicking, run as test ng suite. Okay. You see, I have removed my hands from my mouse and keyboard. I'm not doing anything on the computer machine. Whatever the activities that are being performed by are by automation tool. Who is performing the testing, guys? Now you can see the movie, right? What is happening? Some browser is automatically getting opened, application URL here being opened, and the product name is being typed into search box field and clicked on search button, and a lot of things are happening, right? A lot of things are happening. What's going on here? Am I doing this? Or an automation tool is performing the testing on behalf of me? What do you say? What's happening here, guys? Am I performing the testing manually by sitting before the computer machine, or an automation tool is performing the testing on behalf of me based on the code written by taking the code written by the software tester as instructions? According to the instructions, the automation tool is performing the testing on behalf of me, right? How the automation tool is performing the testing in this case? You can see that one by one test cases are running, right? One by one test cases are being running by the automation tool. I don't have to be there before the computer machine. I can go away and come back also. So this is what is the end result we are going to get after doing the automation testing, guys. You see, a tool is performing the testing instead of you performing the testing. A tool is performing the testing on behalf of you, and this kind of testing is called as automation testing. All the red color things that you are seeing in the editor are not real errors, guys. They're just warning messages. There's some logs or kind of warning message kind of logs. Okay, ignore them. Just only focus on the testing that is happening. Automatically the browser is launching, automatically the application URL is being browsed, automatically the things are getting typed into the search box field functionalities, and the testing is being done one by one test case. Right, that's what is happening. Right, that's what is happening. Okay, let's keep going. You see, all the things are automatically happening, guys. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not even putting my hand on the mouse or keyboard here. Okay, I'm just there before the computer machine to explain you. That's it. I'm not here to even visually see what is happening, that is passing or failing. I'm not worried about that because tool will take care of that thing for me. Okay, I'm only before my computer machine just to talk to you, to explain what is going on the screen, like that, how the automation tool is performing the testing, to explain that I'm there, but I'm not here before the laptop or something just to show you how to perform testing. Rather, the automation tool is performing the testing on behalf of me. So guys, tell me, who is performing the testing here? Is it manual testing or automation testing? And if it is automation testing, who is performing the testing here? A real person or an automation tool? Type in the chat box. Type in the chat box, guys. Who is performing the testing here? Type in the chat box. Yes, automation tool is performing the testing on behalf of the software tester. Automation tool is performing the testing here. And also, you see, we also got a report, guys. We also got a report. Can you see the report here? We got a report here. We got a report here. Okay. Some tests were passing, some tests were failing, you see. For failed test, some screenshot is also being taken. A lot of things, right? So this is what we need to achieve in the coming days. But tell me, guys, you see, I simply got a report here. Only if you 25 or 27 tests are there, I got the results of every test, and I'll investigate myself. Only the failed test, passed test I'll ignore. Okay, here automation tool was performing the testing and also giving the results for me, test results for me in this proper way. A report got generated with all the results. Whether the test, search test got passed or failed, you see, pass, this one test, this another test. Like that, every report came. Now, just by checking the report, we can understand what got passed, what got failed, what test cases got passed, what test cases got failed. And by looking at the failed test case and verifying that, confirming that these are real defects in the application, we can report the defects to the developers. Developers can fix them. Right? Clear? How an automation tool can perform testing is clear on behalf of the software tester. That is only possible for the automation tool. Okay, it was possible for the automation tool because we gave the instruction to the automation tool. How did we give the instruction to the automation tool, guys? Anyone can tell me? Anyone can give me the answer how the automation tool got the instructions from us to perform this automation testing on behalf of the us? How the automation tool was able to perform the testing on behalf of us here? By using what? Through script. Here automation code is there. Whatever the code that you are seeing, you are not aware of the code. How to write this code, you are not aware of. But you are getting the understanding, right? How the automation tool has performed the testing? By using this code. Whatever the who is writing, who has written this code? Who has written this code? The software tester, right? Yeah, the person only, real human who is a software testing role has written this automation code. QA or tester has written this automation code. Okay, the QA or software tester has written this automation code. That code written by the software tester is being taken as what? What this code is being taken as by the automation tool? The automation tool can understand this code and it's taking this code as an instructions to perform testing. Got it, guys? How the automation tool will perform testing? By itself, can it perform testing? Can an automation tool can perform testing by itself? No. Automation tool cannot perform testing by itself. It needs the help of the software testers. Software testers have to sit before the computer machine, create this kind of projects in the editors and all, and using the automation tool and code, we have to write the code like this. Okay, some kind of high level code we have, some kind of code we have to write. This code will be taken as instruction, will be given as instruction to the automation testing tool. Automation tools testing tool will blindly follow these instructions to perform the testing. Right? Yes, that's how the automation testing tool is able to perform the testing. Hope you got the demo. We are not digging deep into automation testing now, but I wanted to give a small demo, guys, because without giving demo, everything will be theoretical. So I want to make it practical as much as possible. Now, guys, are you clear with what is manual testing and automation testing? And with all demos, is it clear? If it is clear, just type this in the chat box. And automation tool will perform testing with the help of the instructions given by the software tester by writing the code. Okay. For that automation tool cannot perform the testing by itself. Automation tool will receive the instructions from the software tester in the form of code or test script. Some people call this automation code as test script. Test script. Okay, that's fine. Terminology. Okay, just a terminology like test automation code, test script. Software tester has written this test script for automating this application functionality. Like that, we generally talk. Great. Superb. Okay. So everyone understood what is manual testing, what is automation testing that we generally do in real time. Okay. We generally do manual testing and automation testing. And the major people that apply for the jobs, right? They apply for manual testing role and automation testing role. These days, it's software testing is it's neither manual, it's not automation. Every software tester has to do both manual and automation. Don't think that I'll be doing only manual in the companies. I'll do only automation in the companies. You see, whatever the work we that comes to our plate, that we have to do it. Okay. We should not complain I'm not interested in manual. I'm not interested in automation. Okay. As a tester, you should do both, even more than this. Apart from this, you have to do more also. Okay. Different type of testings are there that we have to perform. Okay. For now, you understood. One way of one simple way of categorizing the software testing is manual and automation testing that you have now understood. Now, what is the second way of categorizing the software testing at a high level? If I want to categorize software testing at a basic high level, what is the second type we have? Second category we have desktop application testing, web application testing, mobile application testing. How I am categorizing the testing here, guys? How I am categorizing the software testing here? How I am categorizing the software testing here? With the help of the application type that you are testing. Yes or no? Based on the application you are going to test, based on that application type that you are going to test, you are giving the testing type that particular name. For example, if you are testing this paint software, where is this paint software running, guys? Where is this paint software running? Tell me. Is it running in the browser? Where exactly this particular paint software is running? It's running on the top of my operating system of my computer laptop. On the desktop, it is running. On the desktop machine or laptop machine, okay? On the top of this operating system, Microsoft Windows operating system, in my case, especially, it is running. So, such kind of applications which run on the top of your computer machines, on the top of the operating systems of your computer machines are called as which type of application? For example, Paint software is a which type of application? It's a desktop application. Everyone type in the chat box. Paint software is one. Example of one desktop application is Paint. Everyone type in the chat box Paint. Can you give another example? Any other examples, guys? Apart from the Paint, what are the different type of desktop applications? Yes, Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel. Yes, more examples I want. The kind of softwares which directly run on your operating system. Yes, PowerPoint, Windows Media Player. Yes, Notepad. Yes, Notepad. Notepad is also another example. You see, this Notepad is another example. Yes, next, few more. Keep giving, guys. What are the different things? Yes, snipping tool that I covered for taking the screenshot. This snipping tool is also a desktop application, right? The snipping tool, this is also a desktop application. It's, yes, calculator. Calculator. Okay. Many applications are there. Many applications. What about this editor? This editor is also a desktop application. Have installed this. You tell me, guys, will this particular editor will come by default? When you install, when you in your when you get a laptop, new laptop with Windows operating system, do you get this Eclipse IDE editor where you can write the code? Do you get this by default? No. What I have to do as a software tester? If I have to test that Eclipse software, what I have to do? I have to download and install it. Using which extension the software will be downloaded? What is the type of the extension? Generally in the Windows machines, what is the type of the extension the desktop application softwares will have? Exe files, okay? Yes, it's application software. Definitely it's an application software, correct. Exe file, okay? What about, can we have desktop applications in Mac and Linux machines also? Is it possible to have desktop applications in Mac and Linux machines also? Yes, right. In Mac and Linux also, we can have the desktop applications, okay? So, but their extension won't be same. If you want to install a particular software, a new desktop application software, okay, in Mac machine or Linux machine, okay, having the Linux OS or Mac OS, will the extension will be same? .exe will be there same in Linux and Mac. Will we have to use the same extension? No, it should not be. For example, I'll show you one thing. I will try to download one software, guys. The software name is Git. Okay, okay, just some random software I'm taking. Just download Git, and here you see this software can be downloaded into your Mac machine, Windows machine, and Linux machine. If you want to download in Windows machine, click here to download. It will get downloaded, guys. Download will start in a while. You see which version is getting which extension is there. It has what is the file extension we have? .exe. For Windows, it is .exe. Now, what if I want to download it for Mac machine? Click on the Mac, and you see I don't have any extension here. Maybe I don't have a link or something. Okay, but if I have to install it, okay, I'll not get the .exe file as extension. Anyone know what is extension? What is extension? Dot .exe for Windows. Then what for Mac OS and what for Linux OS. Okay, let's see. For Windows it is .exe. For Mac it is many formats are there. You can see here .app or no extension. It's saying I don't know. Things got changed also. Okay, deb files. If I remember, deb in .deb, right? .deb in which OS? Linux, Debian-based Linux distributions like Ubuntu and all. If you are using Ubuntu flavor of the Linux operating system, then you have to go with .deb. Okay, okay, like that. Mac OS we have .dmg, .dmg in Mac, .exe or .msi. Many things will be there, guys. Okay, the major ones are DMG in Mac, exe in Windows, and in Debian-based, we have this deb in Debian-based operating systems of Linux. Okay, yes, got it right. So some softwares like Paint software do I have to install? Some softwares like Paint software do I need to install? separately on the Windows machine? No, they come by default. Okay, I don't have to download and install using the exe file, but still it is a desktop application, right? Whether I install or not with the help of exe file in my Windows machine, but it comes by default with the Windows operating system. Still, it is an application software, and which is a default application software that Windows is providing by default for you. Okay, but if you have to use Microsoft Windows or Word or something, you have to download and install it separately. Okay, using the exe file. So it can be anything, guys. It can be anything. Okay, just give me a second. It can be anything. Just give me a second. I'll just provide this notes so that in the Telegram group so that you can get it from there. Okay, great. So that I'll not lose the notes. Okay, I'll just simply say file new. Okay, so that I can draw it. Next thing is I was explaining about desktop application or desktop testing. The other one is web application testing. The other one is mobile application testing. If you are testing the desktop applications like that softwares that I have shown you, which will run on the top of your applications which directly run on the top of your operating system are known as which applications? Desktop applications. Okay. Examples. What are the examples? Examples are Paint, Word, Excel, okay, Eclipse IDE, and many more, etc., etc. Okay, many will be there. Testing such kind of applications, such type of applications, is known as testing the such kind of applications which run on the top of your operating system directly is known as desktop application testing. Desktop application or app testing, whatever it may be. Okay, this is desktop application testing. What about the web application testing then? Now you understood what is a desktop application testing. With this knowledge, you should be easily able to understand what is web application testing. Then what is web application testing, guys? What is web application testing? Now you understood what is, if you are testing the desktop applications as part of testing, such kind of testing we call as desktop application testing. If you are testing the web application, it's called as what? If you are testing the web applications, any examples for the web applications? Any examples for the web applications, guys? Anyone? Any examples if you, Amazon.in, Amazon.com, Amazon.in, Flipkart.com. Yeah, I want more examples. I want more examples, guys. Zepto, Chrome, no. Chrome is not a right answer. Chrome is a desktop application actually. First Cry, Mintra, Yatra, Big Basket, many websites are there. Okay, even this website. Okay, if I open this website, okay, if I go to this new tab and browse this, okay, I will type an application URL here, .com/demo application and press enter here. This browser, this application URL I am browsing in the browser. Whatever the applications that I can browse using the browser that run on the browsers are called as web applications. What is a web application, guys? What is a web application? Any application which runs on the which runs on the browser using some application URL is called as a web application. Okay. Example is Amazon.com. Okay. Amazon.com. And many are there, many, and etc. etc. Okay. Amazon.com and MSN.com. Okay. Etc. etc. Using the URL. Okay. Testing such kind of applications is known as what type of testing? Web application testing. We cannot say internet because some desktop applications need internet. Okay, we cannot say internet because some desktop applications will be there which need internet, so we cannot categorize that with the internet. Okay, the applications which run on the top of the browser using some URL is known as web application. Got it? Pravita, clear now? Pratibha clear now? Yes. Applications which run on the top of the browser, if you are testing such kind of application, such kind of testing is called as web application testing. Then what is mobile application testing? Then what is mobile application testing? An application which runs on your mobile devices like smartphones, tablets, etc. are known as mobile applications. Okay, are called as mobile applications. Mobile applications. Examples are, what are the examples for mobile applications? Amazon app is there. Amazon app is there. Instagram app is there. Facebook app is there. Okay. Snapchat. Perfect example, right? Snapchat app is there, and many more examples are there. Okay. Testing such kind of applications which run on your mobile phone or mobile devices like smartphones and tablets, etc., is known as mobile application testing. Based on the type of the application that you are testing, the testing type will differ. Got it? Got the understanding, guys? Based on the type of the testing, type of the application you are testing, that type of, yes, WhatsApp also is another example of mobile application. So based on the type of the application that you are testing, you can categorize the testing into that particular type. Desktop application testing, web application testing. Okay. Here I'll write testing because testing keyword is missing here. And other one is the mobile application testing. Now, using this basic terminology like desktop application testing, because you're testing the desktop applications in this case. If you're testing the web applications, you're saying web application testing. If you're testing the mobile applications, you're saying mobile application testing. Based on this, can we invent different testing types now? Yeah, that's what I told you, right? It's a Mrudula, it is a mobile applications, okay? The applications which run on your tab or iPod are known as mobile applications, okay? Clear now? Yeah. I'll show the images of the mobile application. So for some examples, I need to show you, right? Okay. So everyone can pick up your mobile phone and see the examples. Okay. Mobile testing, mobile application. Okay. If I say mobile application here and search in Google images, just go here and see there are a lot of mobile. You see all this, the things which are flying like YouTube app, Twitter app. Earlier it was Twitter, now it's X, right? Facebook app, Instagram, LinkedIn app, WhatsApp app, like many apps are there here. Okay, Pinterest app and many apps are there. These apps are like mobile applications. The applications that are there here also in mobile applications, some applications will come by default with a mobile phone when you purchase a mobile phone. Something you have to install like Netflix you have installed, Instagram they have installed, WhatsApp they have installed. Okay, they didn't come by default. Okay, so that is the mobile applications. Now, guys, I just want to know. Okay, so if I am testing a desktop application, I am calling it as desktop application testing. Application testing. If I am testing a web application, I am calling it as web application testing. If I am testing a mobile application, I am calling it as mobile application testing. Now I'm asking ChatGPT, how how many other type of applications are there, and what testing type we should call them as. Okay, let's see. If you're testing the desktop application, we are calling it as desktop application testing. If you're testing the web application, we are calling it as a web application testing. If you're testing the mobile application, you are calling that as mobile application testing. If you're testing the APIs, if you're testing the APIs, it's called as API testing. Okay. If you're testing the cloud base, you can ignore this part. I'll explain the API testing later. Okay. This item you ignore. You just take it with desktop application seriously, web application, mobile application. Directly jump to cloud based. If you're testing the cloud-based applications, it's called as what? Other testing types categorized, types categorized based on based on the application type we are testing. Okay? Other testing types categorized based on the application types we are testing. Okay? What are they? One is cloud-based testing. Okay? Let's write down them. Okay? Let's not go deep into that. Yes, that is mu. Okay. Whatever you're calling Sai Krishna, right? Can we test web applications in mobile browsers? Yes, we do that. And that testing, we generally call it as MEW. What is mu? Mobile enabled web. There is terminology known as, everyone type in the chat box. There's one good thing you are learning today. Mobile enabled web. Okay. It's not in your laptop or computer machine. Rather, if you are, rather, if you're browsing your application URL in the mobile device, using a browser in the mobile device, that is called as MU. Okay, that is called as MU, guys. MU means mobile enabled web. Okay, I'll just keep it somewhere here. Okay, mobile enabled web. Okay, mobile browsers. Okay, mobile browser. Okay, so that is also web application testing only. That is also web application testing, but in which mode? Not in the desktop view. You are testing that in the mobile enabled view. Okay, that is called as mobile enabled web, which comes in web application only, not mobile testing. Okay, maybe it's a mix of web application and mobile application. Yes, responsive UI will be there. There is a concept known as responsive UI. Responsive. Okay, the same application, web application, if it is if you are opening the same application URL in the browser, web browser, sorry, in a mobile browser, then it fits into the screen. Okay, that is called as responsive UI. Okay, if the application has responsive UI, the UI will get adjusted to your screen and this thing and all the stuff. Okay, and yeah, testing is ultimately you're testing on the mobile device. Okay, and the kind of testing that you are doing is web application testing only there. Okay, fine. Anything that runs on the browser is a web application. Simple words. Okay. Yeah, a lot of things are there, guys. A lot of things are there. When we go for mobile testing area, right? I'll cover this in depth. Okay. I'm not covering this in depth now, guys. Okay. I'm not covering this in depth. Okay. Later part of the time, I'll cover this in depth. When we go for a topic like mobile testing topic, right? In the upcoming sessions of our training, because our training is now officially marked as a full stack UA testing. I'm not just training here, manual testing, API testing, Selenium automation like that. Okay. All the tools and all the areas I'm trying to include, I'm going to make this training as a full stack UA. So you're going to learn a lot from this training. So that's what is the difference I want to make in the terms of trainings here. I don't want to just teach manual testing or automation testing. Way behind that, I want to teach so that you will get good opportunities in the market by using all these skills. Okay, the possibilities that you will get more jobs in the market will become higher after you attend my trainings. But don't wait for all my trainings to be completed, guys. Parallelly, when you are attending my trainings, I want you guys to attend the interviews also. Okay, at least after Selenium Java, you attend, guys. At least after Selenium Java, you attend the interviews because training will take a lot of time. Training is a training and learning or ongoing process. You should not wait for the end. Okay. So the way you have to keep going with the learning and it's parallelly we have to apply the jobs. Okay. That's how things should be taken care of. You should be very smart, guys. We should not be dumb. Okay. Don't think that after I complete entire training, I'll apply for the software testing jobs. That's a bad idea. Okay. Whatever you know, with that knowledge, you go and attend the trainings and get some experience. The you need to face the interviews. You need to face the interviews and all and get some exposure. Okay. Even though you do dumb also, that's fine. Okay. Failing also is important sometimes. Fine. Anyhow, let's get back to the topic. Cloud-based testing. What is cloud-based testing? If you are testing a cloud-based application, that is called as cloud-based testing. Okay. That is called as cloud application testing. If you test a cloud based application, that is called as a cloud. Okay, what examples? We'll take the examples of cloud based application examples. Okay, let's see what are the examples that will come. Okay, a lot of examples are there, guys. Okay, you see Google Drive. Have everyone used Google Drive, guys? A software which runs on the internet. A software which looks like a desktop application software, but it runs on the top of internet. You don't have to install in your computer machine. Okay, rather you can use the software on the internet. A cloud-based application software that runs on the cloud infrastructure. It relies on cloud server storage and services and use typically access it via the browser or lightweight client without installing it on their local machine, except maybe for a thin client or helper app. A lot of terminals will be there. Ignore that. You see, these are all cloud-based applications, guys. Even your you see Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, Google Docs, Microsoft 365, Zoho Office Suite, Salesforce, HubSpot, Zoho CRM tool. Okay, many things are there. Okay, you don't have to install the desktop application software. The entire desktop application software is hosted on the cloud. Such kind of applications where you see it would have been better if this application is on your directly running on your operating. For example, the same paint software is there. Okay, for assume that there is a paint software that you are accessing from your Windows operating system directly. This is desktop application. But if the same functionality of the paint software is there, that application you are accessing via the internet, via the browser and internet, you are accessing that and you are able to get it. Like Google Drive, you are accessing, right? Similar way, if you are able to access a paint software on the internet, cloud means internet only, guys. On the internet, you can say, okay. So these are all the examples of Microsoft Teams, Zoom, okay, GitHub, Netflix. Many things are there, okay, which are cloud platforms, cloud-based applications. Okay, if you're testing such kind of applications, it's called as cloud application testing. Okay, then if you're testing embedded system applications, it's called as embedded software testing. If you're testing game applications, let me note down. Okay, what are the other testing types we have? Embedded software testing, embedded software testing. Based on some type, you have to categorize what this software embedded software testing. Then if you're testing a gaming application, game application, you know that there is a separate companies, game testing companies are there. Okay, or there are some separate role in software testing role, like you can become a game tester. If you are interested in games, you can become a game tester. Okay, the type of testing that you're going to perform while testing the games is like game testing. Okay, if you're testing the database, that's okay. IoT, if you're testing the IoT application, that is called as IoT application testing. Okay, anyone know what is IoT? Anyone know what is IoT? Guys, anyone know what is IoT? What is the full form of IoT? Internet of Things. The full form of it is Internet of Things, right? Okay. These days, from your mobile phone, you can launch an app, and in that, some options will be visible. And if you select to turn on the light without you going and selecting that switchboard, right? That can be done. Or using your voice commands, okay? You can have your, what do you call that? Amazon Voicer, okay? What is that, guys? Amazon Voicer. What is the device from Amazon where you can speak and give the commands? Alexa. Alexa, right? Yes, Alexa. Okay. Alexa, turn on the light. If you say, automatically the instructions will be passed, and via internet your light will your at your house the light will get turned on. Similarly, you can turn on your AC, turn off your AC. If your devices are IoT type of devices, right? Automatically, okay, via internet they'll get turned on off and off. Okay, and you can manage them, you can schedule them, whatever you can. Such kind of applications which will help you in managing this IoT devices. Okay, controlling these IoT devices at your house or industries or whatever it is. Such kind of applications, if you're testing IoT type of applications, if you're testing, that is called as IoT testing, guys. Okay, IoT application testing. Then a lot of other types are there, but the major ones I'm taking. If you're testing AI applications, okay, if you're testing AI applications, that is called as AI application testing. You see, everyone know what is AI, right? For example, if you're testing ChatGPT, what is the type of the testing that you have to say here? If you're testing whether ChatGPT is working properly for the prompts given by you, what is the type of testing here? What is the type of testing we have to call that if you're testing the ChatGPT by inserting some prompts and checking whether you're getting a proper response? Sorry, AI testing. Instead of calling, you can specially call it as prompt testing, that's okay. But generally at a high level, it is AI testing or generative AI testing. A lot of names you can give, artificial intelligence testing, okay? One type of AI application you are testing, that is AI testing, okay? So different type of applications are there, guys. Okay, uh, based on the type of the applications and many more, I'll say. Okay, because the list is endless. These are the major ones that you can remember: cloud-based applications, embedded software testing, game testing, IoT application testing, and many more application types and types are there. and we can and we have separate testing type for calling the testing performed on this applications. Okay, based on the type of the applications. Okay, we can call the testing as such kind of type. Clear, everyone? Everyone clear? The major ones are desktop application, web application, and mobile application, and the additional ones are cloud-based testing, embedded, and all those stuff. Okay, everyone clear, right? In software testing world, we can categorize the software testing based on the type of the applications you are testing. Okay, so this is one area you need to understand. Okay, so there are a lot of ways in software testing to categorize your testing types. This is another way. Okay, one way is like manual testing and automation testing. Based on that how you are performing the testing, you are performing, or your automation tool is performing the testing. Now based on the type of the application that you are performing the testing, you are deciding that. Okay, so whatever the terminology or information we got here, I'm just providing here so that you have a reference here. Okay, great. Next, what is the next thing? Let's go to the next basic types of testing, guys. You see, the session is going, I thought like it will be completed very fast. I thought of, I don't know, like, but I'll do my level best, guys. Don't take my promises sometimes. Okay, I'll do my level best today, and tomorrow I'll try to wrap up, but I'll do my level best. Okay, let's see how it goes. Other way of, guys, is that okay? Like, if it gets delayed a bit, that's okay, right? I mean, next weekend or something, if the manual testing part gets delayed with this explanation, is that okay? Right, because I'm getting delayed the things right for you, because I want to cover a lot for you. I want to make you guys very good at testing, because without these fundamentals, no matter you learn a lot of software testing, automation, API, those are the crazy words. Okay. Yes, yeah, and understand you are waiting for Selenium to start. My intention, because last week I was not feeling well, I didn't get a chance, okay, to complete the things on time. Okay, but I'll do my level best. But if required, I may have to extend this. Okay, let's see. I'll try my level best in not extending. Okay, but let's see. We started at 5:30. It's just 1 hour happened. We have 2 more hours for today. We have 2 more hours for today, guys. Don't worry. Okay. I'll give a good try today and tomorrow to complete them. My intention is also same to finish up. But if I feel that I'm missing something, then I have to extend. Okay. Then only otherwise I'll not extend. Fine. So other way of this is also very important, guys. UI testing, API testing. Other way of categorizing the testing types is what? Based on what I can categorize the testing types. Because you're going to learn API testing next. Because you're going to learn API testing next. Right? Somewhere I'll also cover database testing also for you. Okay. Whatever the kind of testing that you are already performing is UI testing. Whatever the explanation so far I gave of performing the testing using a web application or desktop application or mobile application from the UI is called as UI testing anyhow. But we also have API testing and database testing. Based on the layer of the application that you are testing, you can categorize your software testing. Got it, guys? Based on the layer of the application that you are performing the testing. At which layer of the application you are performing the testing, based on the layer of the application that you are performing the testing, you can categorize your testing types. So let me create a new thing. Based on the application layer, an application has many layers, guys. Okay. Maybe from your engineering college or something, you would have already learned different layers of the application. Client server, client API server, like that. Many things are there, right? Okay. So I'll explain something for you. Just imagine. Let's say this is my laptop. In my laptop, I opened a browser. In the browser, I opened one application page URL. That is tutorialsninja.com/demo application. I opened here in the browser URL. Okay. I gave the URL here. Okay. When I browse the URL, when I hit the URL in the browser, what happened? A request will be sent to the server. A request will be sent to the server, guys. Okay. This is server machine. So this is server. What is this? It's a server machine. A request will be sent to the server. From my laptop, in one of the browser, yes, correct. Let's not go deep there, but at high level, you try to understand. Okay. Let's not go deep there, but let's understand this at a high level. Okay. Guys, just see here what I'm trying to explain you. You see, there is a laptop. In my laptop, there is a browser. In the browser, I opened one application page URL. The moment I had hit the application page URL, a request has been sent to the server. This is called as a request. Okay, a request has been sent to the server. So in real time, if you take this application, I want everyone to open this application URL in your machine. I'll post this in the chat. I'll post this application URL in the chat, guys. Our meeting chat. Just try to open that application URL in any of the browser you want. Just open that. I just want you guys, once you open, right, just say open. You can type open in the chat box so that I'll know that you have opened. You can type open in the chat box, okay? To communicate to me that you have really opened, just type open in the chat box, okay? You opened, right? You opened this particular application, you are using this application URL in your browser in your machine. Now, let me ask you one question, guys. Okay? Let me ask you one question. You are able to access application? Using the URL, are you guys able to access application? Yes or no? Using the given URL, you are able to access application. But now tell me, this application, for developing this application, some code is required, right? The developer have written some code, right? Is that code available in your machine? Whatever the code that is required for building this application, is that in your machine? No, right? It's not there in your machine. But then how you are able to access the application? Whatever the developer written code is not there in your machine, then using a simple URL, how you are able to access the application? This is the answer, guys. This diagram is the answer. The code written by developer, developer per building the application is posted. Posted means posted or uploaded in this server machine. Got it? Where is the code available? Where is the code available, guys? The code that is, for example, this is the code. Okay. The code for building this application is available where? In the server machine. Is the server machine in your computer machine? Same. Do you have the server machine in your at your place? No, right? It's somewhere else, right? You see, I am the owner of this application, guys. Okay, I'm giving this application for my trainings. I'm using this application for my trainings because I don't want to depend on other trainers. Okay, I'm spending a lot of money on this every month. I'll get a bill for it's not free for me. Okay, this application URL that I'm making it for you to practice software testing, explore the application, do whatever on the application. It's not free. Okay, it's a demo application only, but I hosted it by myself. Okay, I hosted this by myself. Okay, I made it available for everyone for practicing software testing and all. So what I did is, you see, I'm not a developer. Guys, I'm a developer or software tester here. I'm not having that much development skills. Okay, I'm not a real developer. Okay, I'm into testing field, not a developer. Okay, I'm not a developer, guys. But how did I develop the code for this application? Did I develop? Did I write any piece of the code for this application? No, I didn't write. What I did is, there is a website known as OpenCart. Okay, what is the website, guys? The website name is what? OpenCart. Okay, have this website known as what? OpenCart website. I think we tried this on one day. I gave you this assignment, right? Guys, everyone aware of that, right? One day I gave this assignment to start a OpenCart in your machine, to configure and set up OpenCart in your machine by running the server and database, etc. Everyone remember that, right? Now you get to the point why I gave you the assignment there at that time. A lot of people have communicated and have done it properly, right? You got a lot of problems, you have rectified the problems, and similar application you are able to launch in your machine. Yes, right? Right. So, yes, that is a web application only. Still, that is a web application, but the code is there in your machine. That's the only difference. Okay. Still, that is a web application. You have hit the local host like that you have done, and you got a URL like my admin or something. Then you got this URL of the application, right? But still, it is running on the browser. It is a web application. It's not a desktop application. So what you see? Let me recap a bit for the new people. So I didn't write the code for this application, guys. I didn't write the code for developing this application, but some developers of this OpenCart company. There is a company known as OpenCart who has the developers. Those developers of this OpenCart company has developed this particular application. Okay, the code for developing this application were written by the developers of this OpenCart company, and they have provided it for free for me. It's an open one. I just simply clicked on the free download, and and there are different versions and all. I just clicked on download now, and then because of download now, what is happening? You see this code will get downloaded, guys. So you see the code has you see open card zip file containing all the code that is written by the developers of this open card company for developing this application is available in this zip folder. Now I have followed some steps that I have already explained in the previous session, guys. I gave the chat GPT link and all. Okay, hope you tried that. If not, you just go and watch the previous recordings. You'll get all the instructions there. Okay, fine. So in that application, in the here code I have downloaded. This code I don't want to put in my computer machine. Okay, do you think this particular code I have downloaded like this and you are able to access using this URL? Is that correct? Just because I downloaded this open card in my computer machine, by using this URL, you are able to access the application. Is that correct? No, the answer is no. What did I do with this open card code? What did I do with this open card code? I went to, I went to one hosting provider known as Cloudways. Okay, what is that, guys? Cloudways. Cloudways. Okay, so if you also want to try this, right? There are some ways, guys. Okay, there are some ways here, but I recently got a discussion with one of the guy. Okay, a developer, and I don't know whether I have this number of him. Yeah, let's find it out. Hey, Vijay. Okay, doing. I'll ask him. Okay. You said about one hosting place where we can host our applications for free. I'm currently using Cloudways where they are charging me. Can you provide the name of the free hosting provider? Okay, fine. So let the answer come from one of my friend who I met in the Jaipur while giving the training at the Jaipur location. Fine then. So you see, but this application is not hosted in my computer machine. The problem with my computer machine is for me to access this application, okay, for me to access this application, I need to run it 24 by 7. And I have to create a static IP address for that so that using the static IP address, everyone can access. That is a very tedious process, having my own computer machine running here 24 by 7, and I have to purchase a separate laptop for that. It's a very big headache, and I need to run it 24 by 7 under the AC. That's not possible for me. It's not viable for me. Cost wise, it's too costly for me. What I will do, rather of me hosting and putting a separate server machine at my home and running it 24 by 7 with AC and all, lot of bills I'll get. Instead of that, I'll choose a easiest way. That is, I'll go with this kind of hosting service providers. One of the example is Cloudways. Anyone know any other examples of apart from the Cloudways hosting providers? Yeah, Amit. Okay, today is your first class, but I'm revising everything for you. Just go with the previous recordings if required. Okay, is that fine, Amit? But I'm revising the things for you, what happened and all. But still, you can go with it. Amit Shukla, right? Today is your first class. That's okay. We are in the manual testing part, and I am again covering a lot of stuff because I explained a lot of theoretical topics previous sessions. Just go through that. Okay, today is most of practical things are there. Today and tomorrow, you try to attend, you will understand everything. Along with that, you also go through the previous recordings. It will be more good for you. Okay. Yeah, tell me, guys, different hosting providers, Cloudways, AWS, right? Correct. Any other apart from that? Have you seen this GoDaddy? GoDaddy, GoDaddy hosting. Okay. Then we have Hostinger. Hostinger, have you seen the ads of Hostinger? Hostinger, web hosting, right? For one of my application, that is, that I am running a website and channel with this QFox name, right? Everyone know that, I think so. Is attending this website where I'm hosting it on a hosting provider known as SiteGround. Okay, depending on the type of the application, depending on the quality I want, I'm hosting there in different places, guys. I'm hosting this on the SiteGround. Okay, on the SiteGround website, I'm hosting this. Okay, there are several hosting providers, guys. For this application, I have chosen one of the hosting providers available in the market, that is Cloudways. Okay, the Cloudways, you see, it's not free, guys. I have to pay some money for that. Okay, because I'm renting. If I don't own the house, if I don't own my own laptop is like own your own house. Okay, that you have to take care of 24 by 7. But what I'm doing, I'm renting a house. I'm not permanently purchasing this house. I'm renting the house. Some renting space I'm taking. You see, here flexible plans are there and all the stuff. You see, I went with a basic plan. Maybe I remember that as 14 USD, but it cost me around $17 USD. Okay, $17. Okay, so how much I'm spending? $17 to INR. I'm just making it more real for you to understand, guys. Okay, it's around 1,500 rupees per month I'm paying for this website. Okay, for it to run 24 by 7. Okay, so I got 1 GB RAM from them. I'm rented this particular thing. Okay, one core processor, 25 GB storage. I got this is enough for me for my requirements. If tomorrow this goes down because a lot of traffic is coming to this website, what I'll go with another plan. Okay, I'll upgrade my plan to 2 GB plan. Okay, all those stuff. Okay, so that's what is the Cloudways, guys. I have went to the Cloudways, and the Cloudways, in the Cloudways, right, I'll have some options to upload the code. I uploaded this open card code there, and started the server and everything. And that is not enough. Cloudways will give you an IP address, guys. Okay, wherever this code is hosted on the Cloudways will generate an IP address of the server machine. What you will get after hosting your code in the server machine, in my case, I have used Cloudways, I told you, right? So here, Cloudways, etc., Cloudways, etc., hosting provider. This is very important, guys. You see, you are not even here. I'm not teaching you manual testing, guys. Here, I'm teaching you the knowledge that every software tester should have, every IT engineer should have. Okay, my topics are mix of software testing, manual part, and also this knowledge is also covering. Okay, don't think that I'm only covering manual testing here. A lot of other things are required because in the coming days, I'm going to explain what is API testing, what is database testing. These are the foundations for that. Okay, without this, you cannot go there. So I have chosen the cloud-based hosting provider here and uploaded this code onto the rented server space given by the Cloudways, where I have uploaded my OpenCard application code. Got it? Clear, everyone? In return, what I got, guys? What I got from the Cloudways after hosting my OpenCard application code in the server machine, what I got in return? An IP address IP address using which everyone can access the application. Okay, here you are not using the tutorialsninja.com/demo. You cannot use just by hosting your code on the hosting provider Cloudways by paying some 1,500 rupees per month. Okay, then you are getting an IP address in return. This IP address you have to access. Do you think it's a good idea to access the applications? Okay, hosted on the server machines using the IP addresses? Is it a good idea? Is it a good idea to access this kind of applications using the IP addresses? You see, when you access Amazon.com, do you access that Amazon.com with IP address? There's something known as domain name. What is that? Domain name. Everyone type in the chat box. This hosting provider, there's something known as domain name. There's something known as domain name. What is the domain name have chosen? www.tutorialsninja.com. Okay. Tutorialsninja.com is the domain name, guys. Okay. I have purchased this tutorials. Okay. On the top, after purchasing this hosting provider, hosting space from the Cloudways to host my code, OpenCard code, which is written by me or written by some other people like OpenCard. After hosting this, developers have written this code and hosted this in the server machine, which Cloudways platform I have taken for hosting purpose and have rented that space, and which has some processor, RAM, and all those stuff. Okay, then I also have brought a domain name. Okay, I went to GoDaddy website. Okay, I also went to another website known as GoDaddy, godaddy.in. Okay, since I am from India, I went to this website, and this in this website, what domain you want, you can search. Let's say if I search for QFox domain, let's say search domains, it will not be available, guys. It's taken by someone, it will say. You see, QFox domain is taken by some other people. Okay, it's not available. Okay, it's QFox.in is available. If you want to take it, you can take it. Saying that's okay. Now the thing here is, You see, just plain IP address, I need to map this domain name with IP address. What I would do is, okay, a software tester will not do all this stuff. We are understanding the concepts, guys. Okay, this client server architecture and all, we don't have to learn it. Okay, but understanding of this client server architecture will give you a better idea of doing software testing. Okay, so terminology, technical wise, you will be a good person. Okay, what's happening behind the scenes, you should understand. So I purchased domain name and mapped this domain name with IP address. So what happened? I hosted my code in the server machine by using this hosting provider and all the stuff, and then I purchased the domain name from some website. Like I need to pay something around 1,000 rupees per year for this, and here 1,500 per month and 1,000 rupees per year. Let's say, and then I'm going to map this IP address. Some settings will be there in this hosting provider and all those stuff, and I'll map this IP address with this so that I don't have to browse this application using this code. Okay, I should not be typing the IP address in my browser. In my browser, I don't have to type the IP address of the server machine. Simply, I'll type the domain name like tutorialsninja.com like that. I'll type. Now, because this IP address domain name is mapped to this IP address, okay, which is pointing to this code hosted in the server machine. What happens if I browse this? Automatically application page will open here. Okay. How the application page is opening here? The moment I hit the URL here, a request is being sent to the server and some code in the server is being run. Not all the code. Is all the code in the server is running? Just by you hitting this particular URL like this, okay? Just by you hitting this URL, tutorialsninja.com/demo URL, is the entire code in the server machine is running? Is the entire code in the server machine is running, guys? Do you think the entire code in the server machine is running by doing this simple process? No. Only the code that is required for this URL is being running. Okay. A request will be created, and for that request, whatever the code need to run in the server machine, only that part of the code in the entire code of the application will run. When this code runs, as a result of running this code, a response will be sent back to the client machine. Okay. What will come back is a response will come back. What is this called as response? Here, when you hit the URL, a request is being sent to the server, and server has to process your request by running the code. And as a result of running the code, a response will come back. You see, it's as simple as treat the server as a tea stall person. Everyone drink tea here, chai we call in India, chai, tea. Okay, everyone drink tea, right? Most of the people drink tea. You see, if you don't prepare a tea at your house, you want to take the tea by, visiting some cafe or, some tea stall person you go. Okay, you ask for a tea. Okay, here, like you hit the browser, a request is being sending. You are requesting for the tea. The tea need to be prepared by the whom? Tea need to be prepared by whom? The cafe person or the tea shop person has to prepare the tea. How the tea is being prepared here? You asked for tea. Tea is being prepared by running some piece of code. Once the piece of code has been run, that means tea has been prepared. The tea will be served to you, right? The result of this tea preparation process is they have to serve it to you. That serving will come in the form of response, guys. Thus, that response will the whatever the prepared tea will be given to you as a response. This response will contain HTML, CSS, JavaScript, cookies, and many more, etc., etc., many more. Okay. What will be coming in the response here? Back to the client machine. Once the tea is prepared here, tea need to be served. What is that served tea? It's nothing but HTML, CSS, JavaScript, cookies, etc. Many more. Who will understand this? Who is understanding this? Who can understand this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, cookies, etc.? Tell me, guys. On the client side, this is a client side, right? Where the laptop is available and all. This is a client we generally call. This we call it as a server. This side we call it as server. Okay. And this side we have the client. When you hit the URL, a request is being sent to the server and T is prepared and T is being served to you. And T is in the format of HTML, CSS, JavaScript, cookies, etc. Who will understand this T or this part? Who will understand? Tell me. On the client side, there is one software which will understand this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, cookies. What is that software called as? Anyone know what is the name of the software which can understand HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and cookies, etc.? What is the software name I'm asking? What is software which can understand this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, etc.? What is software name? What is the name? Tell me, guys. Who can understand this? Have written just now. What is the name of the software which can understand this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and cookies? Browser, guys. Browser. Browser is the answer. Got it? Browser will understand this HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and cookies and render that on the page. You are getting this website page because the browser has understood the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and cookies sent back by the server to it. Okay, the browser will receive that HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and cookies, etc. from the server machine and will consume it and render it on the page. Without the browser, can you get this output? This page will come on the page? No. Okay, that's what is the thing you have to understand. Got it? Okay, now many other stuff are there. Okay, many other stuff are there. What is the many other stuff? Then, if HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and cookies are being sent by the processed code here as a response, and the browser is consuming the T. Who is consuming the T? The browser is coming. Who is asking for the T? Here, browser is asking for the T. When you hit the URL, browser is asking for T. Okay, which tea? Different types of teas will be there. Assume in real world, different type of teas. Ilachi tea will be there. Cardamom tea will be there. Mint leaves tea will be there. Many type of teas will be there, right? So based on the type of the tea you ask, the tea stall person should prepare only that tea by running that piece of code. And as a response, proper tea should be given. And once the tea comes back, the browser will consume it, will have it. Like that it should happen. Okay? You understand? Server as a tea stall person or cafe person who is preparing the tea for you, and browser is a person who is asking and consuming it. Okay, fine. Now tell me how the request and response are communicating here. How the client and server are communicating via the request and responses, right? Over which transport mechanism? You see, if I want to go from Hyderabad to Delhi or Hyderabad, India to US, whatever the examples may be. Okay, if I want to travel from one place to another place, I need to take a different transport mechanism. One is via ship. I can travel via ship, or I can travel via flight. I can travel via train, bus, car, bike, cycle, many ways, right? Transportation ways. But how this request and responses are being traveling? The reason behind this is this particular client machine is in Hyderabad, whereas the server is not in Hyderabad, guys. It is in Singapore. The moment I hosted my code on the server machine using the cloud-based, right? They have given a server space which is available in Singapore actually. This server space is available in Singapore. Now, how the request being sent by the browser to the Singapore is being traveling via what transport mechanism it's traveling? Via what transport mechanism it's traveling? Over the internet. How the request is being sent? Over the internet. How the response is being sent back from Singapore to Hyderabad here, in my case of this application, via the internet. Via the internet, but internet has a protocol, guys. What is a protocol that generally in internet will be used for? If you want access over something over internet, what is the general protocol that we use? HTTP or HTTPS. Okay, where HTTPS is a secured one. When I go for security testing, I'll explain in detail what is the difference between HTTP and HTTPS in detail. Now this is not the right time. Okay, so you see this application, if I'm talking about, it's using which URL? Copy this URL and paste in a new tab. You see S is there or without S is there? S means secured. For now, S means secured. Okay, a secured way you are transferring that. Okay, over the internet in a secured way you are transferred. Okay, so request is being sent by HTTP or HTTPS protocol, which is an internet protocol, guys. Okay, like that it will be gone. And while response also comes, it will come by the same internet protocol, that is HTTP, HTTPS only. Fine, this is all good. Then I have few more questions here to understand. The other question is, I'm saying developer have written this code, right? Some developer has written this code. So which language this OpenCart people have used for developing this application? Developers of the OpenCart application have used some language for developing that. Okay, OpenCart application has been built BUILT using which backend programming language? If I ask it, it will give you the answer. What is the language has been used, guys? Which programming language was used by developers of the OpenCart application, developers for developing this OpenCart for you? Which language is being used? Is it Java or Python or C Sharp, Ruby, JavaScript? What is that? Which language the OpenCart people have used here, guys? I have highlighted here. What is the language being used? PHP. PHP is the language that has been used by developers of the OpenCart. So here, whatever the code I have hosted in the server machine via the cloud-based hosting provider, I'm using something known as some backend language, backend programming language. Okay, this is called as a programming language. Okay, I'm using some programming language. Okay, that was PHP in our case. So some developers will use Java for building this. Okay, we can also some developers will use, if you have built some software by yourself, right? You can build using this actual code of the application can be built with the help of programming languages like Java, C Sharp, C Sharp.net. Have you heard, right? Java, then Ruby, okay, Python, Perl. Many languages are Go language. All these are backend programming languages, guys. Okay. So these kind of languages will be used by developers. Why we call them backend program? I'll explain that. Don't worry. Okay. Whereas HTML, CSS, JavaScript, etc. are front end. Whereas PHP is backend. Why PHP is backend? Why HTML, CSS, JavaScript is front end? I'll explain that. Okay. Don't worry. Getting to the point, right? I'm explaining a lot of stuff technically. Now, is one case. I'll explain another case where database layer also will be covered. Okay. I'll explain another case where database layer also will be covered. What is that case? Just drag it here so that we can have some space here. Okay. What is that thing is case where database will be covered here is, for example, if you go to the same application and this time you go to the login page, in the login page, you entered some valid credentials, guys. You entered some valid credentials, Motori. I'll just go with some 8 here. And then password as 12345 as a password, valid credential. And the moment I click on the login button, what will happen? In the background, what will happen, guys? If I enter the credential here and click on the login button, I enter valid credentials and click on the login button, what will happen in the background? From the UI, I'm clicking on the login button. The moment I click on the login button, a request will be sent to the server. A request will be sent to the server. This time, when I click on the login button, after going to the login page and giving the username password here, along with that email and password, okay, request will be sent to the server using this. Instead of a normal URL, along with the URL, okay, along with the URL, some email and password also will be sent as a request over the internet. This email and password data also will travel to the server machine. Okay, and appropriate T will be prepared. Appropriate code of this particular application code will be run. Okay, so here we are transferring the email and password. The moment I click on this login button, you see, I'm getting. You see, it's not working though. So I'll give another application. I'll just give this and see if it is working or not. You see, they get expired. That's okay. It's not working. I give some valid credentials somehow. Login. Is it working at least? Yeah, it's working. A336. Okay, that A336 email and 12345 as a password were being sent over the request to the server machine, and server is processing the request. You see, server what it need to done? Earlier we got a simple URL request and we got the page rendered here. Okay, we got the home page rendered here earlier. But this time I went to the login page and gave the credentials and click on the moment I click on the login button here. The moment I click on the login button here, a request is being sent to the server. And this request is being, along with the request, some email and password over the internet are being traveled. And now some other part of the code, some other piece of the code regarding this particular request. That is, you're asking for a different flavor of the tea. Now the tea stall person or cafe person has to prepare a different tea for which he need to add different ingredients, like that code, different set of code need to be run. Let's say this part of the code is being run for this second request, where login request. And you see, email and password will reach the server. And this email and password will be inputted to this code. Okay, this email and password will be inputted to the code. And using this email and password, server will do a query on the database. What a server will do? Server will do a query on the database. Okay, application database. Application database. What will be there in this database, guys? What will be there in this database? Tell me. What will be there in this database? When you request here, email and password has been sent. What will be there in the database generally? Some tables will be there, right? Some tables will be there. In every database, this is a relational database. I'll explain about database testing related concepts later. SQL and database related concepts later when database testing comes. And here, some tables will be there in the database. Generally, whatever the database we use in real time, some tables will be there. Okay. So one of the table will be like, users table. Let's say one of the table is like users table. Okay. This users table will have all the records of the users who have the account with this application. You see, when I was typing different credentials, right, all the credentials were not working. Some credentials are working, some credentials are not working, right? Some credentials were working, some credentials are not working. So how that is working, how the application is allowing you to log in sometimes, how the application is rejecting you to log in if you give wrong credentials. That is happening because here, while the code is being run, for the login code is being run, you see here, this server machine is querying, querying the database. Okay, querying the database using some language known as SQL. Anyone know what is SQL, right? At a high level, at least you know what is SQL. Structured query language. Select star from employees, like that. Okay, a SQL query, for example, like it's like this: select star from users, where username, where username is equal to email, this email, and password is equal to this password. Like that, some query has been run by the server machine on this database, on the users table. On the users table, one of the users table, a query has been run, and this query will hit this table. And once you run the query using the SQL, the query will be processed, a response will be sent back. This from the database, from this table, a response will come back. If the records are there, if the records are there, what the server machine will do? Server machine will send a response back, a proper response containing this HTML, CSS, JavaScript cookies, and also along with that, some token also will be sent. There's something known as token. Token means like if you want to enter into a movie theater, you should have a ticket, right? To enter, you will be allowed only if you have a ticket. Like similarly, a token should be there for you to for getting authenticated into this application to allow you to log into the application, right? This token is along with this HTML, CSS, JavaScript cookies, a token will be sent back as a response to this browser, and using all these things, right, you got logged in here. That's how you got logged in. Got it? Everyone clear? Everyone clear with this explanation? Client, server, here this is database. Client, server, and database. Client, server, and what? This is database. Now, I'll just put some lines like this, okay? Intentionally, I'm putting some lines here, okay? So, this layer is called as presentation layer. What is this layer called as, guys? Presentation layer. This is called as presentation layer. What about this layer? It's called as a business layer. Okay, business layer. And this is called as a database layer. Now, if you are testing by using the UI of the application, okay, without worrying about this request and responses, if you are directly testing the UI part of the application, if you're directly testing the UI part of the application like this, for example, if I go to the login page, by accessing the UI of this application from the presentation layer, the application is being presented to me here in my client machine. From the client machine, by using the UI presentation layer of the application, if I'm performing some activities here and clicking on login and checking whether the login functionality is working and fine or not, from the presentation layer by using the UI and UX, okay, by using UI, UX, user interface and user experience of the application. If I am performing the testing, that testing is called as what? It's called as UI testing. UI, UX testing. You can call it as UI, UX testing. Okay. There is a difference between UI and UX. I'll explain that later. First, you understand on the presentation layer what type of testing you are performing. UI, UX testing you are performing. Got it, guys? Clear? The type of the testing that you can perform in the UI layer of the application, presentation layer of the application, where you can test the UI and UX part of the application, like UI and UI part of the application, that is called as UI UX testing. Okay, the type of testing that testers will perform on the presentation layer is UI UX testing, and also you can test, you can perform functional testing also. I'll explain that later. The main thing is functional testing you can perform. What is this functional testing and all? I'll tell later. Okay. So functional testing using the UI part of the application you are testing. How you are performing the whether this application is functioning or not. How you are testing whether the application by using the UI interface of this application you are testing it. Okay. By using the UI interface of this application, you are performing the functional testing here. Okay. You're checking whether the application is functioning or not by using the UI functional layer. The type of the testing that you can generally test at a high level on the presentation layer is UI UX testing and functional testing, guys. Then here there is request and response in the business layer. The kind of testing that you can perform in the business layer is API testing. What is that called as? API testing. The kind of testing you can perform in the business layer is called as what? API testing. What is that IP address, Rohit Sharma? Shavant, sorry. If everyone cannot access IP address, then what should be the process for global level access? You're asking about this IP address? Then you have to map the domain name. Everyone can access, but everyone cannot remember, I'm saying. People cannot remember the IP address. Okay? We have to give a name to it, right? So domain name is required and we have to purchase the domain and map it to the IP address. Then you can access without the worrying about the IP address, underlying IP address. Okay? This will mask the IP address simply on mapping. Okay? That's the requirement. Okay, fine. Okay. If you are performing the business layer, request and response will be there. If you're testing this proper request is sent, when you hit a request to the server, you're getting a proper response or not. That is called as without the UI part. Here, no UI. In API testing, no UI will be there. No user interface will be there. You cannot see this kind of application. This presentation layer won't be there. Only requests and responses will be there. I'll show you one tool here. I don't know whether I have the tool. If I have that, I can directly show you there. So developer can give you this kind of, request and responses, guys. Okay. Developer can give you some kind of request and click on place here. And you see there is a request here. You see there's a request. For example, I'll go to one website here. For example, regress.in. In API testing, while I'm explaining API testing in the next sessions, right, I'll cover this again for you. This is there is some documentation. If I want to get the list of the users, right, this is a request. Copy this request, guys. Copy this request and paste it here. Okay. So if you don't want to add like this, that will be going away. And here simply say pages. The moment you say pages from params you are passing, and don't worry about this. I'll cover that later. Same thing will come here. Okay. Request.in API users pages 2. Okay. This is the request. Okay. And you click on the send button. The moment you click on the send button from this tool known as Postman tool, you got a response. Whether you got a proper response. Do you see any UI here? Any presentation layer available in this tool? Guys, can you see any presentation layer here? Similar kind of thing is there for, this one also. For login also, there is an authentication. Login successful thing is there. This is a request, okay? You have to send this request, copy this request, and I'll go to this Postman tool, which I can use as a tool. I'll explain about this Postman tool later, guys. At a high level, I'm explaining. Get command is there, the request is there, okay? In the request, okay, I cannot send the request like this. I have to go to body, raw, JSON, and here I need to copy something that is provided in this documentation. These developers will provide you all this stuff, okay? This documentation of API request and response will be provided by developers of the application. And you'll copy you are passing the email password, not from the user interface. Okay. Here you are not using the UI layer of the application. You see here you have the presentation layer of the application. For example, here we have the presentation layer of the application. If you want to, pass the username and password, right? If you want to pass the username and password, you have the presentation. You can see the graphical user interface here, GUI or UI, whatever you call. And here you can see the UI part. Okay. If you click on the login button, what is happening in the background? This kind of request is being sent to the server. The moment you click on send with this, you see, if you want to pass that email and password, right? The moment you click on the login button, this kind of request is being sent to the over the internet to the server machine. Okay. And while sent, I have to pass the email and password, right? Here I'm passing this email and password. I need to pass from the API because this doesn't have application user presentation layer. So I have to pass like this. Okay. And when I click on the send button, a response has come back. You see, page 1 and all those stuff, some response has come back. Proper response has come or not, I have to check. Okay. Proper response have come or not, I need to check. Okay. A 200 okay and body. So it should not be get method should not be used. You see, as per the documentation, which method we have to use here. It should be post method. That's the problem. Okay. That's the reason it didn't work out well. Just select post here. According to the API documentation, you have to post. What is post? What is get? I'll cover everything in the API testing sessions. Okay. Send this. The moment I click on the send, you see, you got a token. I told you, right? You'll get a token. In the diagram, I told you that you'll get a token for the login request, right? So that token is coming back. By using this token only, you are able to get logged in. Okay. A session is getting created and you are getting logged in. Okay. Yes, correct. From the API document, developer need to give you API documentation for you for performing API testing. Okay. You don't have to create an API documentation yourself. Developer who has built this application, right? for this particular code, application programming interface, some kind of request and responses will be created. According to that, only we'll perform testing. Okay. Test cases will be same guys. You see here, what will be the test cases here? You can pass valid email address, valid password in one test case. Here, invalid email address, valid password. Valid email, invalid password. Both are invalid. Both are blank. Like that, many test cases you can create from the API testing also you can perform. Okay, that I'll cover that later in API testing part. So here UI part won't be there. While you're performing API testing, this kind of tool like Postman will be there. There are several tools. Along with that, in the API testing tool, along with the API testing tool, you'll have this request and responses. The documentation will be given by the developer. Accordingly, you'll perform testing according to the documentation given. Got it? Clear everyone? What is API testing is clear for everyone. If you are performing the testing from the UI layer, that is called as functional UI testing. Okay, graphical user interface functional testing using from the presentation layer. Here also you are performing functional testing, guys. What is functional testing? I didn't explain, but I am going to explain that. Here also you are performing functional testing, but without using UI, you are performing the functional testing. This is API test. Okay, clear everyone? Now, if you have the presentation layer, and you can perform the functional testing here to check whether the application is working fine or not, indirectly or directly. Indirectly, when you log into the application, indirectly when you log into the application using the presentation layer here, when you view the credits and click on the login button, by looking at the result, you can easily understand that the underlying API is working fine. You can decide, right? Yes or no? Even though you have not performed API testing, you can decide that underlying API has worked fine because you got a result, proper result here. You are logged in here. That means it's properly working, right? Then why I have to perform API testing? Tell me. Then why I have to perform API testing, guys? What is the need? When you can, you see, when you click on the login button here with the valid credentials, anyhow the request is being sent in the background and response is coming back. Because of this, in the UI presentation layer, you got the output like you got logged in. That itself proves that functional testing can be done with the UI layer and indirectly API layer is also covered. But why exactly you have to perform API testing separately as a software tester? What is the need for software tester to perform API testing, guys? What is the need for the software tester to perform API testing? Yes, if UI is not ready and still you want to perform functional testing, then that is the requirement. That is the correct. Shakaram Davale has given the right answer. No, no. Remaining all are wrong answers, guys. Whatever the answer given by Shakaram Davale, right? Okay. Shakaram Davale, right? Is correct. If UI is not ready, then what will be there? If this presentation is not there, for example, you are constructing a building, guys, at your house, you are building your house. Directly the painting and everything will be done in the first go itself. Tell me. Tiles, paints, the colors, look and feel of your building will be in the first day itself. You'll get that. No, right? The building will look how? How the building will be looking? You see, the building will look like this. Building under construction will be looking like this. Okay. This is how the building will look like. But after the building is ready, after the building is, the UI part is ready. Okay. Under construction, after construction. Okay. Building under construction, after construction. Just see here, this is how the building is before construction. After the construction is done, the building became like this. Can you see the difference? Tell me guys, which one will be faster? This will be available for faster for the software tester, or this is available? Do you have to wait for the building to work fine or not? For example, you are constructing your own house, 5-floor house, let's say, and you given a plan and all, and execution is being done. Do you wait for the entire output should to come to see whether everything has been built properly, or while the building is under construction, you will perform testing of your house? You'll keep checking your house, right? Whether the people who are coming, labor and who are coming, to construct a building, are building it properly or not? Do you check at the end only, or during the process also you'll check? Don't worry, don't go for security testing, Amit. That will be too deviating for us. Okay. I'll explain why security testing is required. Security testing can be done in all areas. Don't get confused. Okay. Amit, ignore that part. Okay. Ignore the security testing part now. Don't get confused here. Okay. Only see the basics. Basics are important, Amit. Okay. That's what I am saying. During process also, I'll check. Here also, when the entire presentation layer is not ready, only the construction is there. What is there as part of the construction? Code written by developer is there. The code written by the developer is there. Okay. The code that is actually written by developer is there. Apart from that, What is there? The APIs are there. Okay. You see, developer need to write this code and also create the APIs for me so that I can access this code for my requirements and then perform testing. But UI part is not ready. So what happens in real time as software tester is, what happens during software testing is, you remember this agile process, right? Agile Scrum. I didn't explain that. I'll tell you. In agile, these days when you work on the projects, right, you will work in sprints. Every sprint will have 2 weeks of duration. So in the beginning of the sprint, some work will be given. That work should be completed by the end of the sprint. Again, next sprint will start. Okay. Next work will be given for next sprint where, again, 2 weeks of sprint will be there. And here in the beginning of the next sprint, the work will be given by the end of the sprint. That work should be completed. Like this, the work will be going on. Now you have 10 weeks. That is nothing but equal to how many working days, guys? 10 working days. Only 10 working days, right? Is it 10? 5 to the 10, right? 10 working days you will have. In the 10 working days, you have to complete this work. But now, developer has taken these requirements and developed them. They took this much amount of time and remaining this maybe 2 days they are giving for testing. 8 days they have taken for developing and 2 days they are giving for testing and testers are performing testing. Will you be able to complete testing here? Developers have developed the entire these functionalities along with the UI and everything. They have taken 8 days. In the 10 days available here, developers are already have taken 8 days and remaining 2 days they are given for testing and we have to complete the testing. Is it possible? Defect fixing and everything. Not possible here. Not possible. So what the developers will do is, let's say developer have taken 4 days and have built APIs here. Before the UI is ready, at this 4 day period, APIs are ready. APIs will be created faster. UI will take time. Patch up work will take a lot of time. Okay. The construction can be done firstly, but the UI part, final output part will take a lot of time. Within 4 days, APIs came. Now we have this 4 plus 2. That is total 6 days you have. Okay, in 4 days, you will complete the API testing. The fundamentals will be good. And then on the top of that, you will apply some UI presentation. And now the remaining 2 days, you will focus on the UI part of the testing. And then 6 days, can you complete the testing now? Is that good? Is it now okay? If the developers will give you the testing time for 6 days, is that okay now? For performance testing, you're getting, it's better, right? This is what is the requirement for API testing, guys. Okay. UI is not readily available for you. UI will take time. If the developer has to give the application along with the UI, right, that will take a lot of time. So what the developer will do, developer will first write the code, build the functionalities here, and further they'll create the APIs and with the API documentation they will give you, and using that API documentation, we'll start testing. We'll not wait for the UI. Maybe UI will come after after 8 days. UI came and and since the APIs were already tested, the application functionality is already verified here. The underneath functionalities are already verified here. The UI part will take for you 2 days. That's enough. Tester can plan it smart way. So this is how it is done in real time, guys. Okay, that's why we as software testers will perform what? API testing also. First API testing will come, then UI testing will come. Otherwise, testers will not have enough time. Okay. In real time, when you work in the projects, first APIs will be tested, then UIs will be tested. That's why that is the role of the API testing, guys. That's why every company wants you to perform API testing. Earlier, right, we used to have white box people. Some companies used to name them as white box testers and black box testers, and white box testing team used to work on the APIs. That is wrong notation though. But nowadays, it's not no difference, guys. Everyone need to perform everything. We got a roles like SDAT and all. Who need to perform API testing? Who need to perform UI testing? Everything. Okay, should not stick to anything. We have to perform API testing. Once the API testing is good, by the time UI is added, UI layer is added along with UI, automatically again API testing will also indirectly will be performed. But you see, faster testing is possible with the help of API testing. Okay, you should not wait for the ending date. When the time to release comes and you are in a hurry burry kind of stuff should not happen. Means first you have to perform API testing of the application. Then UI will be presentation layer will be done and for that requirements and you will be performing the presentation layer UI level testing. Now everyone clear, right? What is request, what is the response, how to perform testing is clear now. API testing with small example also I gave here. Request, this part is request, this part is a response. Okay, here 200 okay should come, here proper response should come. Okay, we have to verify that according to the requirements. Okay, where UI will not be involved and will be performing the API testing. That is called as API testing. Then what is database testing, guys? Then what is database testing? Then what is database testing? Uh, it's not like that. There is a different way. Let's not go deep, Sailaja. But after UI, automatically when you are testing from UI, right, APIs are also tested indirectly. And also you can automate them. Okay, in real time we automate the APIs also, so we generally test them. Even after UI is ready, we'll also test the APIs. Okay, there are different reasons for that, but let's not go there. Okay, when we go to the API testing topic, right, I'll cover that. As we don't have time, we have to finish up the manual testing here. I'm not waiting. Okay, now next thing, don't worry in depth scenarios, don't worry guys, only try to understand what is API testing, what is UI testing, UX testing, and what is database testing. Okay, just try to understand it at a high level, guys. Okay, remaining all will be covered to you at a high level. Okay, at later when appropriate time comes. Here the next part is database testing. In this database layer, you are going to perform which type of testing? Database testing. In database testing, what type of testing you are going to perform is, you see, already I made you to do that, right? You have created that, build that application, and I have shown, explain you that, right? Already, right? I don't remember that, but it was okay. If you have the access to the database, I'll explain that later when the time comes. In database testing also, I'll cover that in depth later. So how do we perform database testing is from the front end part of the application, from the presentation or API layer of the application, from the presentation, from the UI layer or presentation layer of the application, we'll pass the email and password. Now this email and password that is being used by APIs or by the presentation layer, what happens? Some code will be run and this username and password will be stored properly in the users table. Let's say, is it really stored properly? Let's say you are creating an account. Let's say you are creating an account. Let's say you are creating an account here. Okay, you are creating a new account. What you will do? You'll go to the register account page and here you'll fill all these details like first name, last name. Here some email address, Okay, then some telephone number, some password, some confirm password. Okay, select this. And when I click on the continue button with the same details, the same exact details should be stored in the database. Yes or no? Here, when you are creating an account, and another type of request will be sent with all the details that you have added here in the data from the presentation layer. That is Arun Motori, email address, telephone number, password confirm. All these details will be sent to the over the request to the server, and some other some other piece of the code in the software will be run, and this will create a users table here. Okay, some new record in the users table will be created with this newly added details. Okay, if all the details are good, a new record in the users table will be created, insert into table kind of query here, not select from styling, insert into some queries will be there, that will be run on the users table, and a record will be added to this users table, and once added, right, a response will be sent back with a token or whatever it is, and you'll be able to log in. Account will be created for you and user will get logged in. Now here, after you are done with the process, after you create an account in the application from the front end part of the application or from the API part of the application, in the users table with all the given details like Arun, first name as Arun, with the last name as Moturi, with my email address as some Arun something at the rate gmail.com, with the telephone number as 09 yet and all those stuff, with the password as 12345 is being stored in the database table or not. How to verify that? How to verify that? From the presentation layer or API layer, you know that which data you are sending to the server, you know that. That is input data. The same input data is being stored in the database table or not. How to check that? To do that, we have to, if you have the access to the database, you will run a query here, like select star from users where, okay, username is equal to something and first name is equal to something, or like that, you will run a query and you'll get the response. You'll get the response. Okay, database will give you the response with all the details of the record that has been created, or you will try to access the users table here. Okay, users table here. In this case of the application, there was a customers table. If I remember, customers table you will open. In the customers table, that newly added details with all the newly added details with the same exact details are being stored in the database record or not. You have to check. If you have added Arun here as a first name, but here Arun is not saved in the database table, then passed or failed. Is the database testing passed or failed? Whatever the data you inserted from the presentation or API layer, after processing and storing into the database, the exact same data is stored in the database or not. We are checking. If that is not working fine, there is a mismatch between the data that you are entering and the data that is actually getting stored into the database during this process of using the application. Then if there is a mismatch between the data that actually got stored and the data actually that you have inserted, if there is a mismatch with the inserted data and the actual data that has been stored, the database testing will fail. If whatever the data using the account you have created and the same data is being stored in the table of the database, then we'll pass the database testing. This is what is called as database testing and it will be performed on the database layer. For that, the software tester need to get the access of the database. So I'll explain more about the database testing later, guys, as part of full stack UA training I'm giving for you, right? Okay. I'm going to explain you all this stuff later. Okay. Fine. When we go to the detailed topic, I'll explain that. Okay. This API testing I'll cover in detail later. This database testing I'll cover in detail later. Okay. Then what about UI UX testing? Here, functional testing you are doing with help of UI or API testing. That's okay. Without UI, you can do functional testing. With UI also, you can do functional testing. Leave the functional testing aside for a while. But what is this UI testing? That you can specially perform on this UI testing cannot be performed on the business layer. Why? In the business layer or database layer, you cannot perform UI testing or UX testing. Why? Tell me, guys. Anyone know the answer? Why UI UX testing cannot be performed in the business layer and database layer of the application? What is the reason? Because in the API layer, this business layer, do you see any UI part? Here, UI won't be there. How can you perform UI testing? Got it right? There is no GUI, no graphical user interface. Then how you will perform? UI testing cannot be done here. I'm not asking what is UI testing. I'm saying that in API testing and database testing, UI part won't be there. Presentation won't be there. Here only you can see the presentation. Here only look and feel of the application will be visible. In the in the presentation layer only this is applicable. For example, if I have to perform UI testing here, how do I perform UI testing on this presentation layer page of the application? Tell me. How do I perform UI testing here? Do I need to enter the credentials here and click on the login button to check the UI testing of this application? No. This is not what is called as UI testing. What is UI testing then? UI or GUI testing. Some people call it as GUI, graphical user interface. You are only checking the presentation is being built properly or not. Whether the functionality is working fine or not is not your category here. Okay, as part of here, functional testing is different and UI UX testing is different. I'm talking about UI testing now. What is UI testing? In UI testing, is the application is built according to the proper UI or not? You are checking. Is application is being built using the proper UI or not? Is being checked. Okay. So here the UI, some examples of the UI will be like this. I'll explain about UI testing in detail in the upcoming sessions. I have that. There is separate notes for UI testing, guys. Okay. In our drive, you see in the notes part, there is a separate UI testing available here. Okay. Somewhere here, I'll provide the mind maps here. You see UI testing checklist is there. Very big one, guys. Okay. UI testing is very big one. I'll give you some examples. For example, here some spelling mistake is there. Some grammatical mistake is there. Or the color of the button is not correct. Okay, or the text that is there in this box is coming out of the box, or this particular text is going outside the page. Things are not properly organized on the page. Here you see the label and field isn't properly there. For this particular field there is a placeholder text available, email address placeholder text is there. Okay, and they're very you can clearly see that the UI part is good, right? You can clearly see that the UI part is good and properly, box structure and every options are properly there. When I hover the mouse, you see they're getting highlighted. Everything is UI, guys. Okay, let's say you purchased a water bottle, the coloring and or let's say you purchased a bike, let's say new electric bike. This is a lot of electric bikes are coming, right? But the look and feel of the electric bike is superb. Okay, superb look and feel is there. Okay, electric bike. Okay, so when you went to a shop and you want to purchase electric bike, the look and feel of the electric bike is so superb. It's looking something, dashing like this. Okay, it looking like this. You see, can you see that kind of trend it is creating? The presentation is very good. But can you think that because of this presentation, this bike is very good? Can you decide? Guys, can you decide because of this presentation of this bike? Can you decide that bike is going to be good? Can you decide that? You cannot decide that, right? You cannot decide that. Because of this presentation of the bike, you cannot decide that the bike is doing very well. Okay. So what we have to do? We have to drive the bike. We have to really try the bike by just looking by its cover page, right? You cannot say that the book has a matter inside it. Okay. So the look, I know that it's very simplistic and artistic and everything is very good. This bike, I really like this dab motors concept. Okay. But by looking at the look and feel of this bike, I cannot say that this bike is going to work properly for me. This is an intended bike for me. I cannot decide that. So here in the UI layer of the application, in the presentation layer of the application, you are not working whether the bike is going to work fine or not. Your intention is to check whether the presentation is done very well or not. Okay, for a customer to purchase this bike, the customer has to like the idea concept, presentation concept. Okay, you see this bike, you see, and this bike, which one you like, guys, presentation wise? This one or this one? This orange color one or yellow color one? Which one you like? Orange or yellow? If if by looking at the presentation you want to purchase a bike, which one do you prefer? This one or this one? Yellow one, right? We'll prefer the yellow one. We'll prefer the yellow one. Give me a second. Okay, sorry guys. I got to take one call. Okay, so just see here, the presentation wise, this bike is good. Presentation wise, bike is good. Similarly, when some developer will develop an application, I want to test the presentation layer. How well it got developed. Okay. This presentation, if the client requirement of the presentation is like, it should be like this, but the developer has created the presentation like this, definitely I'm going to report the defects. Yes or no? If it should be yellow color, but I got the orange color, I'll report the defect. Okay. All this stuff. So this what is the presentation layer testing, guys, where you will check, each and every small thing of the UI part you will check, even the color of this breadcrumb you will check, and buttons, highlightations, okay? Any part of the area of the application, it should look good actually. The page should look good for us. And this UI part should be as per the client requirements again. Accordingly, I'll not worry about whether I'm able to log into the application or not. Here my requirement is not to log into the application. I'm able to log in the application. That is a functional testing. Okay, if this login functionality is working or not is functional testing. I'm checking only the presentation layer of this. Whether this login will work fine or not doesn't matter for me. I'm only checking the presentation layer, UI layer of the application. That is called as UI testing. Got it clear, everyone? Everyone clear with the UI testing now? Spelling mistake, grammatical mistakes, organizing, okay, overlapping should not be there. This text should not, this email label, address label should not overlap with the fields. Okay, I'll show you some UI defects, guys. Okay, how the UI defects will be there. Okay, UI testing defects. Okay, let's see some UI testing defects in the images wise. I can show some. I don't know whether I can find them in so short time, but I'll try to see if any UI problems are there in the application. UI testing defects examples. Okay, I don't know where exactly they are, but I'll see. I can show you few because I cannot recreate them for you, but I can show them, right, at least. Just thinking. Okay. In general, I used to get this kind of search and I used to get some examples, but let's see if I can get anything. At least one example if I get, that is okay. Okay, UI defect, text coming out of page. I'll ask it separately. For example, you see this one, this image you see, guys. I don't know whether I can open that image or not, but you see. Can you see any UI defect in this particular functionality software? Guys, can anyone identify UI defect in this? It's very visible. Yes, right? In the second box, you see, this text is coming out of the box. Can you see that? Text is coming out of the box. Is this UI defect? Yes. This is a defect. You see, this is how the UI testing will be performed. Any spelling mistakes are there, any color problems are there, organizing, this icon, it should be properly organized. If only one line is there, maybe it should come in between, let's say, alignment problems, organizing problems. That is all UI testing, guys. Then what is UX? Yes, a lot of defects are there. Defects will come, but this one example I got for now. Okay. So what is UX testing? How it is different from UI testing? Okay. I'm explaining a lot of testing types today. Along with UI testing, UX testing also will be performed at the graphical user interface layer. What is UX? So if I open this application that is Amazon.in or whatever the application it is, okay, I'll just try to give this because they are checking whether I am a human being or, robot. Now guys, observe the logo here. Observe the logo. What are the two different colors that are there in this logo? What are the two different colors that are there in the logo? What are the two different colors that are there in the logo, guys? Amazon logo. Tell me. One is which color? Orange and white. What is the important functionality of the Amazon application? What is the first thing that people, once they get to Amazon.in, will use that functionality? What is that functionality? Anyone who visits Amazon.com, etc., right? They'll use search functionality. Can you see that same colors are being used? You see, the search box field has white color. The search button has orange color. Can you see that? Can you see that, guys? Relevance. Same colors of the logo are being used in the search box field and search button. Why? They want to get our focus to the search box field. Not only that, if you go here, cart, same colors are there, yes or no? This is user experience, guys. Okay. What if they have provided green color here? What if they have provided red color here? According to the requirements, if the UI of this particular card should be in red color, it should be red color that UI testing will pass. Here, such button also, some green color is there. According to the requirements, if green color is there, that's okay. But why the Amazon has taken this minute idea, like, whatever the logo colors is there, I will provide it for the search box field and this thing, and even after adding the product, right, the important thing is cart. For the important areas of this application, they have provided white and orange colors, guys. Okay, because the moment we come to Amazon, our focus need to go to search box field without we knowing. You see, when I click on this, but the search box, orange color thing is also coming. You see? So important areas of this application are being colored in that way with an intention. This is user experience. You see, you brought a bike or car. While driving it, you got a sporty feeling. You are able to drive. There are two bikes. One bike when you are driving, it's not giving you a sporty feeling. You are finding it difficult to drive that bike, okay, or you are not feeling happy in driving that bike, maybe not feeling happy. Okay, it's working, bike is working, but ultimately you are not feeling that kind of vibe with the bike that you wanted. Other bike you brought, and in that bike you got the sporty feeling, vibe feeling, everything you are getting. What's the difference then? Everything is fine only, right? Experience, user experience is different there. Okay, the same way, when you purchase some cars also, right? Some cars will have a cool feeling, they will not make sounds and all. They will work. Some cars, for less budget, when you will get some cars which make some noise. You'll not feel like driving them. It will be difficult for driving the traffic or whatever it may be. It's not be smooth engine. Engine won't be smooth that much. And when you drive the similar kind of other kind of cars which have smooth experience, what is the difference there? Here also working, here also working. The only difference is experience. What the user is experience. You see, it's not about just UI. The logo color should have white and orange is UI requirement, UI testing requirement. But whatever the color the logo will have, the same color should be applied for such functionality, and this cart functionality is being done for experience purpose. And when you go to an ATM, guys, okay, when you go to an ATM, if you go to different ATMs or different banks, some banks ATMs you'll not like the software a bit. The kind of process, when you are trying to withdraw the money or check your account balance in the ATMs, right? Some banks ATMs, if you go, you don't like them. Okay, you don't prefer to go them in subconsciously. You will feel that, okay, I'll better prefer this bank ATM than that bank ATM because the user experience is better here. I can easily withdraw my money without any hassle. Okay, that's what is user experience, guys. Okay, so here UI is like spelling mistake, grammatical mistakes, alignments, text overlapping, and all those problems rectifying. But user experience is how good it is, okay, to use it. How better it is to use the presentation layer is user experience, okay. Presentation layer wise, how better you are able to use because of the presentation layer changes. If this login functionality is provided somewhere here, instead of in middle, it is provided here. Which one is better? Which one user is finding it easy to use? If the login functionality is in middle or left side or right side, what do you say? If I get, for example, this login functionality is on the left side and new customer is there on the this side, and login, all these options are on the third column. First column, this is there. Return customers is in the first place. Then tell me guys, is there any problem with the UI? If this is in the first place, new customer box is in second place, and this is in the same place, do you have any UI problem there? UI testing problem, anything, any UI problem there? All alignments and everything is fine. Do you have any UI problem in that case? Do you have any UI problem if I move this box to the first position and new customers to second position? Do you have any UI problem? I don't have any UI problem, but I need to take a lot of effort with my mouse, drag my mouse like this and click here, which is very effort. I need to take a lot of efforts to enter the email address and password which is on the left side of the page. What if this is on the middle of the page? It will be very easy. You see, just my mouse will be mostly in the middle of the page. So it's, you see, having this login functionality here will be more better, right? User experience wise, this is good now. That's how I can confirm. Look and feel is UI testing, but experience, you see, the UI may be good, but this box is in the first position. New customer is in second position. It is very difficult for the user to go here and enter the details rather than having this kind of thing in the middle. It will be very easy for me to enter. UI is not doing any problem there, but UX is doing the harm. Got it right? That is UX testing. Got it? Able to understand the difference between UI and UX testing? That can be done on the presentation layer of the application. Here we are not worried about the application functionality is working fine or not. We are only worried about the presentation layer of the application. There are two ways of performing the GUI testing. As part of GUI testing, we will perform UI testing, where the colors and all those fonts and everything is good or not is one thing. And experience wise, which way of presenting this UI for the user will create great experience from him while using the application is experience. Okay, that is UX part. Clear everyone? UI UX testing is clear and API testing is clear and database testing is clear for everyone now. Is everyone clear with this, all these items, 3 items now? Guys, everyone clear with this concept of what is UI testing, API testing and database testing? Other way of categorizing the testing here is clear. Is it clear? Just type S in the chat box if you are clear. This is UI testing, API testing and database testing, guys. Okay. Yes. So far we have seen manual or automation testing. We have also seen desktop application testing and web application testing and mobile application testing. And we also have seen UI testing, API testing and database testing. All these topics will be covered in detail in the upcoming sessions. UI testing will be covered in detail in the upcoming sessions. API testing will be covered in detail in the upcoming sessions. Database testing will be covered in detail in the upcoming sessions at the proper point of time. Okay. Now, another way of categorizing the software testing. Okay? This part is clear for everyone, right? I hope you have learned a lot of stuff from this diagram. I hope you guys have learned a lot of things from this diagram, right? Lot of explanation was given. This is very important, guys. A lot of people, these are the important things. Software testing anyone can learn, but without this knowledge, if you are learning software testing, you will not be confident. Okay, you won't be confident. Okay, this much amount of knowledge if you get when learning software testing, right? Because software testing, they don't explain. If you go to any training institute and a trainer has to explain software testing, no one will take the time to explain all this stuff. Because this is underlying knowledge which is very important, guys. The software tester should have this kind of knowledge. After having this knowledge, you perform software testing, you are very good. Okay. So from my experience, whatever I have feel, I'm just doing that, guys. Okay, for you. Okay. I'm just posting that diagram in the here so that fine. You can take the notes from here. That's okay. And the next thing. Go to the next thing. I'll just say new. Now I'm going to cover about the next category of testing, that is performance security. Instead of saying performance security, I'll call it as a different thing, guys. Okay, those are the older notes. These are the older notes, so I'm going to explain a different way. One is functional testing. Other one is what, guys? One is functional testing. Other one is non-functional testing. One is functional testing. Other one is what, guys? Non-functional. Everyone type in the chat box. Functional testing and non-functional testing. Everyone type in the chat box. Functional testing and non-functional testing. Everyone type in the chat box. Functional testing and non-functional testing. I want everyone to type functional testing and non-functional testing in the chat box. You can also categorize the software testing into two types again, that is functional testing and non-functional testing. So with this, guys, I'm explaining a lot of knowledge also. I'm not only explaining testing types here. I'm actually transferring lots of knowledge as a software tester. If you want to be successful, whatever the knowledge is required for you as a beginner or as an experienced person, I'm training you guys here. Okay. So, take that. It's not just about software testing we are discussing. I'm explaining all the topics. Okay. But here the topic is functional testing and non-functional testing. Functioning means just imagine there is a ground. Imagine that there is a ground. In that ground, one person is running. Okay. Imagine a ground. Imagine a ground. I'll, visualize it for you. Okay. Create an image where a person is running in a ground. Let's get an image. This is ChatGPT is generating the images also. That's one another Ghibli images. I think everyone has tried Ghibli art images, right? So similarly, I asked it with a prompt to create an image for me where a person is running in a ground. Okay. So let it create the image, or instead of wasting the time, okay, it's done, or it takes some time. That's okay. Person running in a ground. Okay, let's try this way also. If this is not available by the time. So let's take one thing. Okay. Yeah, let's take this image. Okay. There's one person who is running in the ground, right? Now, I want to ask you whether this particular person is functioning or not. I want to ask you whether this particular person is functioning or not. Functioning or not? What do you say? You see, you can see a person running in the ground. If I ask you a question, whether this particular person is functioning, yes, functioning. Is able to run means this person is able to run means he's functioning definitely. The person is functioning, so he's running. He's not handicapped or something. He's sitting on a wheel, right? He's able to move, run. This person is able to run. Functioning is being done. But I want to ask you at what speed this particular person is running. How securely without falling this person is running. Can I call that as functional part? Can I call this as a functional part, guys? You see, there's a person, ChatGPT has created an image here. There's one person running on the ground. Okay, this particular person, while running in the ground, if I ask you the question, is the person able to run? That is functional testing. Okay. Here, functional testing means what? Functional testing is person able to run. Checking whether the person is able to run or not is functional testing. Then, okay, verify if the person is able to run. Okay. So if the person is able to run, done. Then non-functional testing. Under non-functional testing, we have other testing types like, performance and security are there. Performance testing is there, for example. In performance testing, as per the performance non-functional testing of this testing, what I'll check is at what speed, at what speed this person is running. This person is running. At what speed this person is running is performance testing. Without falling, how securely, okay? Otherwise, performance will take non-functional testing. Performance at what speed this person is running is one of the non-functional testing. Okay, you see what is the running speed of this person is non-functional testing. Got it right? Able to understand the difference? You see, in functional testing, a real world example I am giving. Real world, okay? Real world example. What is that? Is a person able to run? Is a person able to run? Okay, that is functional testing. Here, real world example. Real world example for non-functional. In non-functional testing, we have performance testing, guys. Performance testing. As part of non-functional, here now I'm not worried about if the person is able to run or not. I'm asking you at what speed the person is able to a person is running. At what speed the person is running? If I'm asking you, if I'm checking at what speed the person is running, that is performance testing. If I'm checking whether the person is able to run or not is functional testing. If I'm checking whether at what speed the person is able to run is non-functional testing, where performance testing was one of the examples, okay? One of the types of non-functional testing. Apart from that, we have another real world example, example for security testing. Okay, I'll give that example here. So before giving that example here, Here I'll give the similar real world example to create the case. Okay. Real world example. Is your house locked? Okay. Is your house locked means are you able to lock your house? Is functional testing. If I am talking about non-functional security testing part, okay, how secure is your house after locking with XYZ kind of lock? This is security testing. Got it? Here lock is working. Here lock is working. That means functional testing will pass. But if the thief comes and easily can break the lock and get into the house, functioning is there. But problem is with security part. It's not lock is not secured, right? It's easily breakable. Very small piece of lock is there. Anyone, with a small pen or something also you can break it, let's say. Then can you say it's secure? No, right? So this non-functional aspects like performance security, if you're testing, that comes under non-functional testing. If you're testing the real working of that particular nature of the application functionality, that is called as functional testing. Clear everyone? Now, coming to testing, are you able to log in to the application? Is functional testing. Okay? Is functional testing. Here, coming to the testing part, for non-functional testing as part of performance, what you will check? Performance part. How much time, how much, how much time the application is taking to get you logged in. Okay. Here application is logging in or not is functional testing. But how much time the application is taking of yours, how many seconds it's taking or how much time it's taking for you to get logged in is performance testing, guys. Security means what? A, are only the users having proper credentials, having correct credentials are able to log into application and application that is hackers are unable to find ways to log in without having credentials. Okay, this is what is security part. Getting the idea, guys, what is functional testing and what is non-functional testing. Under functional testing, okay, you're checking whether the thing is functioning or not. You can do that at the UI layer. From the UI layer means you'll go here and give the credentials and click on the login and see whether you're able to get logged in. Okay, right? This functional testing is passed from the UI layer. You can also do the same thing from the presentation layer where without the UI, you'll give the proper request and proper email and password and click on the send button and you're getting a proper token as a response. From the API layer also, you're checking the functionality of the login functionality. I'm not worried about how much time they are taking to log in and all those stuff. I'm not worried about, the hacker is able to hack this login functionality and all. Okay. I'm just checking whether it is working or not. That is functional testing. But if I want to see the performance, how much time? 439 milliseconds it has taken. For this login request to get the response right from the server, it has took 439 milliseconds. Is this is a good thing or not? Okay, performance wise it has taken good time or not? Okay, we have to see as per the client requirements. If this is matching with the client requirements, the timing and all that has application has taken for us to log in, then performance testing will pass. Now, as a hacker, if I try to introduce or do some kind of hacker will try to put something into this, even though the hacker doesn't have any credentials, they'll modify the URL or this email and password in such a way that even though they don't have the access, will be able to access this token. Then there is security problem. Okay, from either from the UI layer or from the API layer, if you are checking the performance and security of the application, that is called as non-functional testing. From any layer, if you are checking the non-functional aspects of the application, non-functional characteristics of the application like performance, security and many other, that is called as non-functional testing, guys. If you're only worried about whether the application is working fine or not, application functionality is working or not, is called as functional testing. Clear everyone? Everyone clear? The difference between functional and non-functional testing is clear for you. And under the non-functional testing, what is performance and security is clear. I gave it all the examples and all real world examples and actual ones so that you can understand. So hope you are able to understand. Great. Okay. So with this, with this, we completed the basic function testing types. Okay. Basic testing types we completed. Okay. Basic testing types we completed with this. These are the basic testing types. I think hope everyone is clear with the different basic testing types we have in software testing. Manual testing, automation testing is one category of testing type based on the type of the application you are testing, based on the layer of the application you are testing, and based on the functional or non-functional characteristics of the application you are testing. Functional and non here functional and non-functional should be there in the notes, but here performance and security will fall under the non-functional testing characteristics. Okay. Hope you got good knowledge about the basic testing types here. So it's a very good thing that we covered here. So I'll not cover this software testing career planning now, but maybe I have to cover it later. Okay, we'll see that later. So that's not important right now. We are in the different flow. We'll just make it pending for a while. And once we, complete Selenium, Java automation and, API testing and all, once we are comfortable, right, I'll come to this part. Okay. I'll come to this software testing career part later. Okay. We have a lot of other things to discuss as part of software testing career planning. That we'll do after a while. Okay. In a particular weekend, we'll do that. Okay. Not a problem. Then I told you, right, how a project begins already explained. Yes or no? Guys, everyone clear with the previous sessions, right? How a project begins is clear, right? You see, there is one case study that we are following where the client has got an idea and has in-house developers and all. Okay, according to the requirements, their in-house developers are already built this kind of applications like this kind of tutorials in the application for us. Now they don't have in-house testers, so they have outsourced this project for us for so and so company, that is a Solytic kind of company we are working under as software testers. The project came and we as software testers have started. What is the first thing that you will do, guys, as part of testing this application? What is the first thing that you will do? Once you receive this particular application from the client side for your company side, as software tester, what is the first thing that you will do? Directly test plan? Anusha is not test plan directly. Okay. Exploring the application. Yes, correct, Anusha. Now you are right. Exploring the application is the right answer. We'll explore this application. That's the phase one of software testing, right? And why we are exploring the application? Why we are exploring the application, guys? Why we are exploring the application? In step one, in step one, we are understanding the application. Step one is about understanding the application. What is required for understanding the application? To understand the application, we have to explore the application. What is the next thing? To understand the application, we have to explore the application. And while exploring the application, you may not understand everything. What you have to do? If you don't understand everything, what you will do? You will ask questions and clarify them. Clarify them. Okay, from client. You'll ask questions to the client and clarify them. Okay. Then here one more thing is also important, that is domain knowledge. Okay, if you have good domain knowledge, you can explore the application properly and ask the questions to the client and get full understanding of the application will be possible if you have the good domain knowledge. Okay. This is step one of the software testing phase. This is the first phase of software testing where we are going to first in the case study one, where the entire application page URL is given, this presentation layer is ready. We have to first explore the application. Okay. Check with the client, get the KT from the client, ask and clarify the doubts from the client and get full understanding of the application. And along with the domain knowledge, you can do it in a proper way. Okay. What is the next phase? After step one is done, if you have properly understood the application, what is the step two then? What is step two? What is step two, guys? Step two is what? Once you understood, what is the step two? Yes, test planning. Test planning, where in this phase, what will happen? Test lead will create a test plan document. Okay, document. And also this document needs to be approved by test lead need to send this document to the client and should be approved by the client, guys. Okay, this not document need to be approved by the client. Then only the test planning phase will be completed. All these things I already covered in the previous session, guys. Okay, previous sessions, you just go there, multiple times I covered there. So I'm just highlighting at a high level to get the feel. Step three. What is the step three here? What is step three, guys? What is the step three? Test is designing. Test is designing. In the test designing, what we have to make sure? Create test scenarios. Okay, once the test plan is approved by the client, then testers will start creating the test scenarios, which are high level test cases. and the testers have to create test cases for each and every scenario, which are low-level test cases. Okay, test cases should be created. Test scenarios and test cases are the major ones. Along with that, these are the major ones. But along with that, we have to make sure that to proceed with the next step, to go to the step 4, along with that, we have to make sure that test data is available, test environments are available, environments are available, and other thing is what, guys? Apart from this test data and test environments, what is the other thing that should be available? The application under test. What are the application that you want to test? AUT. Application under test should be available. If the application under test, this kind of application is not there, how do you perform testing? Right? If this application is not there, how do you perform testing, guys? That's what I'm saying. Okay. Here, step 3, as part of test designing, our main focus will be scenarios and test cases. But to go to the next stage, along with this scenarios and test cases, and this scenarios and test cases should be approved by client. Approved by client. Okay. We need to send these scenarios and test cases to the client for review, and client need to approve them, review and approve them. Or if the client gives modifications, we have to do the modifications and get them, and send it back to the client until the client approves them. Once the client approves them, and we have to also have to make sure before going to the next step, we have to make sure that we have the required test data is there or not, test environments are there or not, application under test is available or not for performing the testing, and these are the main areas. Okay. Now everything is ready. Tools are ready. What is the next phase? What is the next phase, guys? What is the next phase here in the step 4? What you are going to do? Step 4. What is the next phase that you are going to have here? That is test execution phase. That is nothing but test execution phase. This is nothing but test execution phase where we are going to run test cases. And while running the test cases will either pass, fail, not tested, or blocked. These are the different stages that test cases will go through. Okay, we have to mark the test cases as pass, fail, not tested, blocked. If you're because of the time, if you're not able to perform the testing of the test cases, not tested, you have to mark. If you have tested the test cases and the test case is working fine, the functionality of the application is working fine, you have to mark the test cases pass. On running the test case, if you see the wrong results coming, then you have to fail the test case. According to the expected results, it's not coming. Actual result is coming something different. Then you have to fail the test case. And what else you have to do, guys? While running the test case, what you have to do if a particular test case fails, you have to report. Report what? You have to report what, guys, here? Particular test case fails. What is that thing that you have to do here? You have to report what? You have to report defects. To whom? To developers. Okay? And get them fixed. Okay? And get them fixed. Report defects to developers and get them fixed. These are in the test execution phase only it will happen. Then apart from that, you have to do exploratory testing. I explained about exploratory testing in the previous session only, right? Instead of following the static way of performing the testing, not always the test cases will give you the defects. So we have to become an experienced software tester over a period of time. We have to become very good at exploratory testing over a period of time. By getting experience of working in testing different applications, your exploratory testing will increase with different experience levels, and with that you'll be able to find more defects by using exploratory testing without even using the test cases. Okay, first we'll use the test cases, and along with that you have to perform exploratory testing to uncover defects which are not identified by the test cases. Ultimate goal of the test case and running test case and exploratory testing is to identify the problems in the application and get them fixed by the developers. That happens in the test execution phase. First phase, second phase, test designing phase, execution phase. Okay. What is the next phase we have here? Test closure phase. Step 5 is test closure phase. Okay. Step 5 is which phase? What is the last phase here? What is the last phase in software testing? Test closure phase. All these things I covered in the previous session, guys. You can have a look in that closure phase, test closure phase. In test closure phase, what you're going to do? After running multiple test execution cycles on different versions of the software, after running multiple versions of the software, here in test execution phase, we are going to have many test execution cycles. Okay, and continue testing multiple versions of software application until the application becomes stable and defect free. not completely defect free. The major defects are fixed kind of stuff. Okay, and the quality of the application is good. Okay, ultimately the quality, well, until that is until quality of application turns good, we have to run the test cases across multiple cycles. After this is done, you see multiple cycles of test execution and different versions. This will take a lot of time, and there came a situation where the quality of the software has improved like anything, and the time has come for releasing the software into the market. At that time, we'll enter into the test closure phase. Here in test closure phase, we should have text execution reports. Okay, we should have the reports confirming that the quality of the software is good, like the reports we should have. And in the test execution phase, apart from having the reports as an input, the test lead will create our testing team will create a report known as quality report. What is a report? What is the document that will be created here? Quality report. Okay. In the quality report, testers, testing team will provide their judgment of whether the application can now be released into the market or not. Released can now be released into the market or not. That decision will be made in the quality report. According to the decision, all the stakeholders will look into the report and release the software into the market. So these are the different stages. Okay, these are the different stages of software testing. This is nothing but software testing life cycle. Indirectly, it's nothing but software testing life cycle. We'll officially see the software testing life cycle, but this is a major one. Okay, this is software testing life cycle. Okay, generally these are the major phases in software testing life cycle, guys. Okay, these are the phases of software testing life cycle for case study one. Okay, project case study one. This is the software testing life cycle. Okay, so there are different type of projects we can get. Case study one. This is the project life cycle for the software testing life cycle. Project case study one. Everyone clear with this? Everyone clear with this? Everyone clear with this so far? I think I covered it a lot of times. Right, how a project begins and what is the role of the how to explore the e-commerce domain knowledge and exploring and understanding the application. All these things were covered already. Then we were at the test planning phase. Okay, I'm going to revisit the test planning phase. I'm going to revisit the test planning phase, guys. Okay, I'm going to revisit the test planning phase, and then followed by test planning, I am going to revisit the scenarios, test cases. The remaining all stuff we are going to deal. Even testing checklist, all the practical stuff will be covered tomorrow for you. I think today it's already good. Whatever the amount of knowledge I shared you is already good, guys. Should not go behind this. This is enough for us. Okay. So all the practical stuff that are left out, which I have not covered, will be covered to you tomorrow. Okay. I'll be covering all the practical stuff tomorrow. So along with that, yeah, that's enough. Okay. That's enough for today, guys. Tomorrow we'll directly go to the test plan. Okay. We'll revisit the test plan because we didn't complete the entire test plan document on that day. I covered only the partial portion of the test plan document, but there are a lot of other things left out in the test plan document, which I'm going to cover tomorrow. Okay. Tomorrow, test plan, test scenarios, test cases. You already have seen how the scenarios will be there, how the test cases, how to execute the test case also we have seen that. Okay, these are not required much, but test plan is some place where you have to see that. Okay, so these are already complete. Only UI part will be new, and test plan document I'm going to cover tomorrow. Along with that UI testing checklist I'm going to cover at a high level, and apart from that I'm going to cover how to report the defects. I think that also I covered, I think so, but I'll, there are something about defects, snipping tool and everything I showed you, right? That's enough. I use Bagasura tool and all the stuff yesterday, I think so. Then testing status emails and life cycle I have to explain. And yeah, then have to explain some testing types like smoke testing, regression testing, retesting, regression testing, and all those stuff, sanity and all. That's the one area I need to cover. Okay. Then what else? Test planning is a phase we are. And when we go to test execution phase, I'll cover a lot of other stuff. Then quality report, I'll show you practically. Whatever I explained theoretically, right? Tomorrow I'll wrap it up practically for you. Okay. You want to get sample resume to help to create resume? Okay. I'll do one thing. I'll just, keep creating the resume here. You can use my resume. You can use my resume, guys. Okay. Okay. 1 minute. Today only I created, but I don't remember where exactly I have done that. Okay. Didn't, okay. So, yeah. I'll share you the URL. Okay. What you have to do is simple. You see, I'm using ChatGPT, guys, to enhance my resume. I'm using ChatGPT. Gone are the days where you have to document the resume by yourself, you know. So this is what I am me. Okay. Maybe you can use this as a template and, modify according to your requirements. Okay. It has some corporate training also, but you modify this according to your, how to provide all this stuff is available there. Whatever the skill set you have, you just modify that for yourself. Okay, so I have included both corporate training, you can remove that. And here is my IT experience with which projects I have worked on and all those stuff. Okay, so all the GitHub URLs, everything I provided. If do your best, every resume will be different, and personally you have to be customizing that. So what you can do here is for resume is I'll share this and give that resume here in the chat box. I'm giving chat box. Giving. Okay, Smita, you got the chat GPT link, right? Simply what I do is I just copy this part, okay, from the recent prompt. What is the latest prompt I given here in this? What is the latest prompt I given? Also add rest should under API testing skills. I added that. Okay. So here from here I copy this. Okay. Simply I'll copy this part into the Word document. This part in the chat GPT I'll copy into the Word document. Okay. I'll just go to my machine and create a Word document here. Right click here and simply say new and document. I'll say open this document and simply I also have given proper prompts for that thing, to wrap up in 2 pages only. Okay, if anything is missing, I'll review this and add that. Okay, I already have added. You can use this as a resume. Okay, as a base resume for yourself and get it. Okay, is that fine, Smita? Is it okay? You can use this resume like this. You have to copy from ChatGPT and put in a Word document and modify according to your requirements. Okay, simple. Okay, if any problems, let me know. Okay, if any problems, let me know. But you have to customize according to your needs. Okay, you have to customize according to your experience and needs and everything. So like this, you can work on your resume. Okay, everyone can use that resume if you want. Okay, great. Yeah, any other questions? Anyone have any other questions from today's session? Anyone have any other questions? Tomorrow we'll see the other practical stuff, guys. Okay, basic testing types and everything were covered today. So today I had taken already 3 hours. 5:30 we started. 6:30, 7:30, 8:30 is almost 3 hours of today's session. It's already lengthy. I don't want to go beyond that. Okay. So tomorrow I'll again take 3 more hours. From 5:30 to 8:30 I'll take tomorrow also. From 5:30 to 8:30 I'll take tomorrow's session. And hopefully I'll try to finish up software testing tomorrow. If not, maximum guys, I am going to complete tomorrow. Okay. Because with whatever the knowledge and knowledge sharing I've done so far with the sessions, we are good. Only thing is that practical documents like what is a test plan document, what are the different areas in that we have to understand. Second, we have to understand, the test cases, test scenarios. Already I explained how to run the test case. Also, I showed you. Okay. Vinod, you want to talk to me directly? Yeah, fine. Okay, Vinod, you can do that. I think some people wanted to talk to me at the end of the session. I don't know whether they are available or not. Yeah, you can call me. Not a problem, Vinod. After the session, you can call me on my WhatsApp number. That's okay. So there were some people who were trying to, talk to me. Yeah, fine. No problem. I told them like, at the end of the session, you asked me the doubts. Okay. Why to take it separately, I thought. Yeah, fine. Okay. Any questions, anyone? Anyone have any questions here? If not, you can leave for today's session. From today's session, it's done. So we are going to meet tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. and we are going to wrap up the software testing maximum case. Okay. Okay, great then. Bye everyone. See you. Take care. Bye. I'll upload the recording to the Google Drive in a while. Okay. Once the recording gets stored in my machine, right, I'll upload it into the Google Drive by the end of the day. Okay. Bye everyone. See you. Take care.